Hello and welcome back to the NACE Starleague. It's week 8 and it's CSGO time. My name is Vincent, joined here by Cole or Extra 20. Cole, how are you doing this fine evening?
I'm doing really well. Super excited to get into some of the matches that we've got going on. It should be a lot of fun. There's a lot of Counter-Strike to go around, and first matchups and actually the both matchups should be a lot of fun. Should be a good competitive series because I feel like both teams can kind of really take each other to the brink.
Yeah, 150%. I mean, we got definitely some quality matchups today.
Mhm.
Speaking of which, I mean, the thing is, right, our first matchup, we've seen a little bit of these two teams. It's going to be University of Arizona and University of North Texas. That's going to be followed up later on our second series by Ashland University and Central Michigan. So we've got a story of two series here. One where we kind of know a lot about
Mhm.
this first matchup, and it's a bit more of a question mark for us in the second one. But why don't you take us through what we know going in here about Arizona and UNT?
Yeah, I mean, both of them are kind of playing together for the most part in league over in ESCA, so that's something to look forward to as well in terms of getting reps in as a team and as a unit.
Hmm.
But I truly it should be a more competitive series for this one. I could see it going to a third map. I could also see the likes of University of Arizona taking control and really trying to dominate a 2-0 scoreline. Either way, I feel like we will get an interesting matchup for our first best of three, and that should make for an exciting bit of Counter Strike. The real issue here is if University of North Texas can keep up.
Well, let's introduce the rosters, take a look at who will be doing the shooting here in the server. And well, we talked a bit about Arizona. Let me introduce sports homie Merle, Mike, and Avram. And then on the other side, UNT. A roster that we know pretty much a whole lot about. We've seen them quite often. You have seen them even at LAN, you were telling me about, and we'll get to that in a
Mhm.
second. But it's Joey, Wolfie, Dinesh, Six, and Kink. So, like I said, UNT, team you've actually seen perform on LAN. What did they look like when you were able to see them?
I will say they were a team that really impressed me and kind of surpassed my expectations for what I kind of thought they were able to do. I came into them kind of underestimating them, and I believe they were able to make it into that second stage playoffs on a land with a lot of heavy competition,
Mm.
make it out of their group. So that alone is a very impressive feat. So it's something to look forward to. That's kind of why I'm holding out hope that they could maybe take a map off of University of Arizona. I also worry that University of Arizona's firepower is going to be very strong here. They're sitting at 2-2 in IM. Of course, they're 6-1 in this league, which is impressive as well. But their couple of losses that they've had, they've been against very tough opponents, but they've made it respectable. So that's the one real kicker that I have for this University of Arizona team is that versus experienced players, they've been able to take them to the brink. I also expect the same from University of North Texas, but I just think that Arizona have that slight edge.
Yeah, it certainly is a fair statement. And I mean, we just talked a little bit about where they're at in other related leagues, but talking about where the standings are at here for this conference in particular, it's Highlander Gaming at the top and they're undefeated, but Arizona is right below them, sitting at number two, whilst UNT are at a third place, but they're tied with three other teams, SFU and Texas A&M, the two teams tied at that 5-2. So a victory for UNT would be really big for their playoff berth. That being said, Arizona, man, they're a tough one to
Mhm.
overcome. That is what you're kind of getting at, and I gotta agree with you, Cole. It's a really difficult thing to find, and I think UNT, what you're hoping and what I think I'm hoping for as well, is that they're able to play up to the competition. That's what they did when you are watching them at land, and hopefully that's
Mhm.
what we see here tonight.
Yeah, that's certainly what I'm hoping for as well, and I kind of expect that from them. We do hold them at a high ceiling, and they're team that when they're hitting a lot of their strides, they can overcome some very tough opponents here. But yeah, it's going to come down a little bit to that. I mean, good news is as well for University of North Texas is that they're getting in the reps as well. They're 3-0 and open, so that's good news. But you kind of mentioned something that was spot on. You got NACE and what was it? playoffs on the line. It was 6-1 right now for University of Arizona, and North Texas right behind. A lot is on the line here in terms of this matchup alone, and so that can also be a factor for North Texas to try and run after.
Yeah, 100%. Arizona, they're not quite locked and loaded, but they definitely are in a better position with that second seed locked down. But
Hmm.
with a three-way tie for third, this very much could be a fight for UNT's playoff berth. That's the
Hmm.
reality of the situation here in the Southwest Conference. So, week 8, we're getting late here, Cole.
Yeah.
It's no longer, you and I, we kind of talked early on in the season about how there's time to bounce back. A loss here isn't
Yeah.
that big a deal. That's not the reality anymore. We're past those days, unfortunately, and now it's do or die. It's make it
Mhm.
happen, or unfortunately, you're probably going to be out of that playoff conversation. But neither of these two teams are just yet, and I'm really excited to see what they have to offer. But we're gonna have to see what maps we're playing on as well. That's going to be a big key, I think, a big factor. You talked about that UNT have some interesting map choices that they're
Mhm.
particularly good at. Why don't you talk to me a little bit about that as we get towards the map selection?
Yeah, so I think one thing is that I remember this team quite a bit on Ancient and some of those best of one phases as well that was being picked over. So not prioritizing that ban is something very interesting. We could see that from University of North Texas, which I wouldn't be surprised. And as for University of Arizona, maybe some Mirage is in play. We could get more of that Mirage Inferno
Hmm.
overpass kind of hovering in collegiate that always seems to be ever present here. But yeah, it's definitely one of their more impressive maps. I think that was more so the reason why they were able to take a lot of the more experienced teams down and close down to it was because they had Ancient in the map pool even back then when that land was active. It was
Yeah,
relatively new to the pool, so they were able to pick that one up pretty fast and look pretty stable on it as well. So
yeah.
excited to see if North Texas picked that up.
Yeah, indeed. And we are indeed ready to let's take a look at where those vetoes went. It is certainly a big deal to not have to deal with trying to ban out Ancient. We're seeing Dust and Vertigo gone immediately. Still no Dust 2 thus far on stream. Overpass going to be the first map. That's by UNT, followed by Mirage. And there we are. You talked about it just now, Cole, that the Ancient was a possibility. And,
Mhm.
well, the Wildcats, unfortunately, if we go to a map 3, they're going to be in for a world of trouble because I don't think there's any way that they're thinking about the fact that this team probably plays Ancient. They're probably thinking, okay, well, best case scenario, we both don't play Ancient and we just kind of flip a coin, right? Or
Mhm.
we out firepower them. Like you're saying, if UNT makes it towards that third map, I think we could see the Wildcats in a little bit of a tough spot.
Yeah, yeah, I'm right there with you. I think that the one good sign is for the Wildcats as well is that on overpass, it's a really op heavy map and sports wields that weapon very nicely. So, you could see that come into a factor before we ever even get to Ancient. I will say that if the Wildcats want to take this victory, it would be a lot easier if they were able to take it 2-0. I don't really know if they are too interested in heading into an Ancient. I mean, they were the ones that left it open as well. You could have had that last ban. You see that they banned Nuke instead, and maybe a little mistake in terms of the map pool selection, but it only matters if it comes back to bite them at the end of the day.
Yeah, and it's such a strong, strong thing to have is a back pocket Ancient pick because, like you said, you can kind of float that in the first phase of the bans and
Hmm.
force your opponent to ban it if they really don't want to play it. And of course, you in the back of your mind are thinking, well, I can play this map, and if they pick it, great. If they don't,
Hmm.
well, then they've wasted a ban, and maybe we can do a punish pick. That's what's so brilliant about having a back pocket Ancient pick, and that's kind of what we used to see back when Train was in the map pool, back when Overpass was new, actually, or Cobblestone for that matter. And I think that's where
Hmm.
Ancient's at right now, and it's really cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, even like the new Nuke and Vertigo as well. Those are both maps that, once teams were picking those up, it was very, very hard to overcome them. I think that Australis and Danish teams in general
Oh yeah,
are a great example of just adapting to Nuke and putting that into your map pool. And then, they had an error right off the back of it. So
yeah.
maybe
Well,
obviously not the case for UNT. I don't think they'll have any errors in tier one Counter Strike coming soon, but it
you
could
never
be
know.
helpful in collegiate.
That's true. Yeah, and well, I mean, the irony, of course, Team Liquid getting good at nuke, off the
Mhm.
back of that, that's where they came in. So enough crazy talk for the pro scene. That being said, we are almost ready to get in towards the game. I'm really, really hoping that we're going to see a close overpass. Like you said,
Mhm.
if the Wildcats want to get there, they're going to have to win here on overpass. We're headed into the game now, though, and that's where we're getting started here. Arizona on the defense are going to start that CT side, while Texas have got the T side start.
Yeah, and so far I'm just interested to see what they are going to do in terms of their A side defense. Arizona. It's going to come a lot down to, I believe, Sports kicking off that up role, especially on the A side defense side of things. Wolfie taking a bit of flack there early on, but has made his bomb presence known. Homie tucked in a very tricky position, going to rattle off a couple of USP shots. That's a huge overperformance from him to find 2 kills. And fully laced, forced to retreat back, but not able to make it out in time as Psych Out is able to collect 2.
Nice little start, but it's on the site. Merle, though, has gotten a forward position, has already found a frag. Looking for the second, the P2K in hand. There's 2 players on the site. He's got help from Swartz now coming in, but unfortunately, Swartz a little bit too late on the uptake. Does get a dink through the box there, making a very low flow, but it's not going to be a problem as Psych Out answers back with a third. A fantastic start for UNT.
That's super clean right there. I mean, obviously, you start to worry with those 2 initial kills rolling off from Homie and Water. That looked like he could have shut that round down for North Texas before it ever got started, but the recovery manufactured from Psych Out, super impressive from him.
Indeed, it was. And I mean, I like this second round. You have the Mac 10s get up close and personal now. These are force wide that they're going up against, but the first frag goes the way of the T's, and as does the second. Mike able to find one back, but it is just that one. As Swartz now the final player left alive. This quick B hit was absolutely blinding.
Yeah, super fast. Just the numbers overwhelming. The pistol players, not enough firepower to work around this one for Arizona. And Sports holding on to his deal. Didn't really fully invest into this one. And a couple of exit kills would be really nice here. Joey low on HP. Oh, but he gets away with so much damage. Can't even on the frag he will. Every small detail counts. Sports going to pick up that Mac 10. That's an opportunity to gather more money as well. Again, you want to have your opera nice and healthy in the economy standings. And the Mac 10 and a couple of $300 kill rewards would be valuable long term.
Certainly will, especially if you could get one of those $600 kill rewards in the next round. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
fantastic. Though I do see that getting thrown over to a different
Oh,
player. So, yeah, it's going to be a homie who takes that, actually. It's Deagle's back again, though, for Arizona, as these Wildcats looking to kind of start a little bit slower. They're taking the double buy or double half buy approach, I guess is the more apt term, as well, the rest of UNT are pushing their way towards long A, and you can look at their buy. This is a very conservative purchase. They've bought 2 AKs and 2 Galils to follow up that single Mac 10. So clearly, we're ready and expecting a potential full buy in this round from the Wildcats.
yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. It was certainly a hefty investment here. They're working around this map to perfection, pretty much catching everyone off guard here. Wolfie looking to find a couple more. Yes, he will grab one at the price of a lot of his HP, though. Sports goes down, and Homie's left last alive. That Mech 10 probably going to look to do the same thing here, just gather up some exits before this round's done and dusted.
Would be nice, right? A couple of kills, like you talked about. That $600 kill reward definitely is a good one to have. But I mean, realistically, all 5 players having head armor, and that's just a real tough task. Of course, didn't know Mac 10 increased damage against light armor and no armor opponents. So either way, no matter the outcome, Arizona going to have a buy into this next round, and it's going to be an important one. It's really going to set the tide for the rest of this early half.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think that it can be pretty huge considering the investment that we're going to see from Arizona. The chances of them getting a nice start to their CT side. Question being is, with University of Arizona's flawless round in the previous, and the fact that they don't really have to reinvest into AKs, they only have one Mac 10. You do a lot of damage in terms of early momentum. You can kick things off nice and fast for North Texas. That would be huge. A nice win condition to gather up. Better chance at their map pick.
Certainly. As this AWP is out there for sports. It's a bit of a spray, and somehow Homie with that Mac 10 does massive work. It's a triple as Joey trades one back with a Mac 10 of his own, but Mike there for the trade. They psych out all alone. Shots being taken, but sports has the shot, and oh my goodness, Homie has just collected an entire bit of cash flow for the team on top of winning the round with just a Mac 10.
Yeah, that's a bit absurd right there. I mean, there's a lot of damage as they ran through that molly, but the collection all in the back of Homie and a little bit of the lacking of trading on that B rush was certainly problematic. The real issue is they called that rush a little too early. That molly wasn't quite faded away, and now we're seeing a different change of approach towards Merle and Sports doubling down a flashbang. Great, Merle's got to peek off of it. Perfect start. 4v5 to kick things off for Arizona. Can the escape happen though? Psych out denies it, and Merle gets taken down.
Unfortunate that Marley couldn't get out of there. It was a really fantastic setup. I really love seeing that sort of dynamic play on the CT side in order to get opening picks, especially with the flashbang being set up perfectly. But yeah, Marley just not able to get out with his life. It is still a good trade overall. But UNT with a slight advantage now, of course, with the fact that it is 4-on-4.
Cycled smoke here. That's perfectly timed. Psych out if he pushes through it. Could be in for a world of hurt here, but fully laced turns away just in time. The timing's so terrible for him. A bit unfortunate there on the inbound, but Psych out will take that one happily as they look to make their way continuously in towards that B-bomb site. Mike's the only defender here. Homie from the top ropes. Actually, they have all three around. Homie's going to grab himself two. Another multi-frag from him. I'm not even sure if they realize Mike's huddled in the water here as his teammate gets taken down. The bomb plant successful. It's a 1v2. Now made into a 1v1 for Mike to pull off. Spots out that second player, and Wolfie blinded up. He sticks himself in towards Sandbag, so he's fully committed to this hold here. No kidding for Mike. And a nice connection from Wolfie to take him down and deliver North Texas into a fourth.
Incredible work there, courtesy of Wolfie. And man, UNT lose one, but they gain back another so quickly. And you know what that means? It is just devastation time here for the CT economy. Arizona, they're crying. Look at the money they've got. Now, granted, Sports with a little bit of extra cash flow, that's nice to have, especially on your offer, but everybody else is very, very low. And Wolfie with a nice little opening there. Merle going down. Sports going to try and take the headshot, actually, because does damage the other way. He's trying to fall back. Oh my goodness, Homie. What a fast push, and fully laced finds one as well. This could be good. 2 versus 2 as the push continues to come through. Sports, he's trying for the Deagle spam. Can't quite hit it. Connects with an AK-47. Mike now there for the frag, but traded immediately. It's Dan Ash left alone. 1 versus 1. And it is against the armored opponent of Mike, who has the Deagle in hand. Can't quite collect any weaponry down there in that position, but Dan Ash knows exactly what went down, knows where he's at, could go plant the bomb right now, but he's going to play it patiently.
Yeah, I mean, it's still 45 on the clock to work with, but luckily Ace fully vacated, so he picks up the pace as he kind of thinks things are cleared out. Mike on a very long rotate, and do you even know if it's B or A at this point? I think a commitment towards connector would hint at an A attack. He'll hear the bomb ticking every once in a while and picks up an op on his way through. The bad news is for him is that you can see what it's planted for. He can play off that bomb super effectively in both bank and jump up here. Mike making his way towards site. Peeks out. Simple kill for Ganache, and that's free as it gets for North Texas, despite it being very expensive.
Man, North Texas showing that this is their map pick for a reason here, Cole. I mean, it really has been the UNT show. Now, granted, that was an eco, and a fantastic one at that. Arizona got a lot of damage done. Now they need to convert that damage into a round victory.
Yeah, certainly. I know it would be great to try and break the economy of North Texas, but right now they're off to a strong start on their map pick. Joey. Oh my god, so close to the connection. Mike doesn't realize how close it's come. And somehow the HE, where'd that one go? Into the void?
It must have been. Ugh,
What on earth?
that's a classic HE grenade, but that's a nice shot by Sports. And oh, yes, fully laced with a double spray down. Really strong stuff as this is looking like an Arizona round.
You're exactly right. Joey and Cypher at this point probably trying to just do some damage to the economy, maybe a bomb plant. That would be helpful, but not at the moment. Staring down the barrel of a rough position to be in here. Joey's lining up some sort of utility. Yeah, that's, I believe, a front bathroom smoke, and we'll see if that draws out any attention. Seems like Mike's going to rotate, but the issue is there's still 3 on B, so it's no worries.
And fully laced. He's already done his job. He's already got 2 frags. All he needs to do is get info. Well, info and a frag he's got. Even the triple, not quite good for the quad, but it's quickly going to be a trade as Cypher finds one before getting taken down.
Yeah, and there's just a lockdown hold from Fully Lace. Wolfie a chance. I think he actually got spammed through the mall on accident. Danash was drawing that attention. So an unfortunate lineup right there for North Texas means that they're in a very, very rough position economically. And an opportunity for Arizona to start stringing some rounds together. This could be a great start. It also could end quickly with some fast-paced A aggression.
That HE grenade was absolutely brutal. Don't know who
Oh,
threw it, but I love it. As Merle is here. Might be, yeah, gonna hear the footsteps, gonna know what's going down. First is found, gonna get flanked though. Magically finds a second one. That's quite good. As Sports now knows a Molly to try and deny that plant. It's
what?
right there. I don't understand. Wolfie should be burning. Finally starts, and uh, sometimes nades just don't work the way they're supposed to in this game. Is Joey good to find one? In all honesty, before Arizona shut them down and the round down. It is 3-5 though, so Arizona are making that comeback happen quite quickly.
Yeah, they're closing that gap. Nice and neat. They're also building up a decent little bank. They're hitting those magic numbers of 3 or 4 alive to keep continuous uh, investments, or at least lack thereof, and reinvestments into rounds. This North Texas, they get their guns out as well, and this could be a great answer back. You can slow the momentum, and they're just going to try a B rush. It's worked once before, but we'll see if there's any better defense. Already a man down as Sports manufactures that, and Fully Laced is so good from the barrels. Mike finds a touchdown. It's just too clean in some of these lockdown rounds.
Oh, that's just adding insult to injury for Danish. Oh, frustrating. Mike gonna find the final kill there of the round. Really well done. I mean, on all counts, right? Fully
Yeah.
laced here, is sitting in the prime position. We see Sports with the early pick. That wasn't enough. The spray down to follow, and the touchdown from Mike. Oh, gotta be frustrating if you're UNT. But honestly, where are the flashbangs?
For the flashbangs, I saw that there was 3 players with mollies in their
Yeah.
hands before they ever got to throw them, before they died. And so, where's a molly towards barrel? Either way, into this next round, Sports continues. Merle taken down. Sports finds himself a second, and Homie delivers. Wait, no, that was Sports as well. Never mind. 4K from Sports, and getting that op activated is going to be very nice. 9 kills to his name as he looks to continue in this comeback. They've already tied it up. 1 to take the victory over North Texas, and that would be a nice statement in this half.
Certainly would be. I mean, to go from such victory to defeat on the course of a round, or rather over the course of a half, UNT, that would be quite devastating on their map pick
Mhm.
in particular. But things are still looking relatively strong for UNT. It's tied back up. Oh man, that's a bit of a struggle there. Wolfie probably should have found that kill, but does not quite connect, and it's actually Wolfie to go down, courtesy of Homie. So Arizona, not only now with control, but they do have the man advantage.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, with this back and forth as well, we haven't seen too much crazy maneuvers just yet. A lot of B rushes that have worked with North Texas just kind of relying on some of their firepower. Psych out has been really helping out in that sense. In terms of just defaulting and finding success with by working picks. Not too much has gone their way in the later stages of this half here. So need to find an adjustment for that. Cleaning up their T sides here could be a way back into things here. Spot out from Sports. Adjustment not connected on. Nice attempt, but no cigars. He just looks to delay. Sports is adjusted though towards Sands, and that's a huge pickup there.
Yeah. How to dislodge this player? That's such a hard position to contend with when you know there's potential for others. And well, now others are fragging. Merle with a double. It's going to be Mike to go down on the site. But Merle takes the fight, goes down to Dan Ash, who's got an opportunity here. 1 versus 2. 10 seconds on the clock, but fully laced sneaking out. And if it wasn't fully laced, it would have been homie very shortly thereafter. Both AWPs going to be recovered by Arizona. And that means that it's now 2 in their hands. This is the nice shots from Merle, biding his time very, very well in order not to give that away until it's crucial.
Exactly right, and I think partially helped out there from Sports as well. Finding that initial kill towards that player Sands really causes some attention away from that sneaky position from Merle. So great stuff thrown in from him. This grenade, oh, could it be so well timed, homie? Hearing all the footsteps, but he hasn't thrown it down just yet. When will he finally pull the pin on that one? That's good damage, 55. He'll take it.
Yeah, not as fast as it could have been, that's for sure. Oh, he definitely spotted him there. Are we gonna?
I don't know if you can spam those sandbags.
No, you definitely cannot. But the idea was there, and well, the idea is here. Homie, with a nice couple of frags, fully laced, and Mike there for help as well. Man, Arizona, they haven't stopped. It was 1-5, and now it's 7-5. Believe it or not.
Yeah, nice string of rounds for Arizona here. They're really locking this one down right now. Needs to have someone to fire back. Joey and Psycho both rocking the double op is interesting to say the least, but I think overpass you can kind of get away with it. A lot of long range angles that you can just hold down the lines from. But if they aren't able to work around that, then you'd have to imagine it's going to be a pricey investment just nullified.
Well, and oh, nice shot by Wolfie. I was gonna say this smells of desperation double op, if ever there was one. You know, not that that can't work, but oh, Sports. He wanted it. Oh, and he can't quite get it. That was nearly a fantastic group of shots to put down. Nicely done. And here we go. Joey and Psych out, pulling up and making moves, making waves with these AWPs. And this is why the double op crutch works so often. It's because it's effective.
Yeah, certainly not expecting another op to be in connector, I don't think.
No.
Aggression out towards B here. Issue is there's a sneaky placement fully laced in his favorite spot. Not for long though. Nice clear right there. At this point, Mike, you got so much money in your bank. I don't know. I think a save is obvious. 36 HP. But ideally, you could go for an exit or two. Drop it up. Oh, especially if Psych Out's not collecting on frags like that. Smoke though will pretty much lock this round in. What on earth was that nade? How did that bounce like that?
It hit the top, the little light.
The top of the door?
On the door?
Oh, the light.
Yeah, and so it just bounced up. Unfortunate, that's for sure.
Funky nades.
Yeah, it has been a funky nade day, hasn't it?
It really has.
3 ops on the board, all 3 looking to survive. Mike in particular being able to recover Sports' op up in the party area. But he might get an exit or two as well. Oh, not quite.
Ooh.
Psych out. What a great hold by him. He was so ready.
Yeah, I mean, that's... I was about to say, you know, Mike holding on to an A1S is nice. You know, you have an extra $4,000 that you can bring into the next round. Okay, that was just... Look at this. What went wrong here?
He wasn't moving.
Backpedaled a little bit? I don't know.
Listen, that's one of those moments where I'm like, game? Video game,
we got
please.
funky nades and funky shots. Either way, Psych Out, he's not going to miss this time here. Collection on the fully laced. Great start here. That op's been dropped in now North Texas. They have an opportunity to win the half off of a victory like this, at least get closer to it.
And the money's still strong for Arizona, so it certainly wouldn't be like a forced save or a forced half buy. And so that's good news regardless of the outcome here. But Yeah, UNT certainly want to pick this up. This is an interesting decision, though. Double op and then execute onto B is definitely not what you would call normal, but the trade onto the side, doubles right down there by Sports, who doesn't have the op this time, and it's Joey and Psych out, the last two, the double op ready to go, and an
Oh,
unfortunate tag through the rail there means that this is all on to Psych out, who's also down.
yeah. I mean, that round pretty much came down to a cap player holding down for 2 frags here. I think we'll watch it back. Sports, massive overperformance from him. His homie gets a 1-for-1 here. Look at this lineup, perfect as it gets right here. And so the fact that he drops the last 2 AKs means that there's 2 ops to try and take B in a 4v2. Near impossible to do unless they're pretty much handing that one over to you, and they did not.
Yeah, and that's sort of kind of what I was discussing initially. You
Hmm.
know, that decision to do the B execution. Sure, if it goes perfectly, you look like a genius, but with the double op, it is really rough if that initial push doesn't go your way. But nonetheless, UNT with a pretty strong buy in the final round of the half. Sports now with an op in his hand, gonna try and smoke himself out, but he's got players coming from the left and the right. Well, Starleague gonna be able to answer the left, and right is no longer a problem. As I say that, though, Joey connects onto Mike. So it's 4 versus 4.
Trying to keep them at bay, but you can see Joey's very aggressive with how he's working around this. Looking for some more kills here. Sports right around the corner. Gun barrel spotted here. Shadow spotted the same. And Sports will eventually find him. Molly, a little too late to the party. But connection from Merle is going to submit this one here. As Danash, 1v3 for workable now. Homie, I don't know if he spotted him. And so Danash is going to slip the gap here all the way in towards Bank. And how long will they realize until it... Okay, fully laced. He was aware. Nicely done from him to take the toes off of Danash and move things into a 9-6 half. University of Arizona, considering the start of that half, really showed some dominance there. You can see the run that they had.
Yeah, yeah. Just taking a look at that, but nice ending there by fully laced as well, fully aware, more like
Mhm.
is, yeah, 9-6 is that score line. Arizona, I mean, you got to give credit, right, to them for the comeback, for the move. 5-1, like I said, ends in a 9-6 half in the last that last stretch there. UNT only able to pick up a singular round. That really does tell you the story that is Arizona.
Yeah, great performance from them here so far. Fast 8 maneuvers being thrown on out, and a couple bits of utility here from Sports and Merle to throw down range. Joey hasn't been cleared until now. Flashed up, but he's good for 2. Somehow no trades are being
How's he
offered up
alive?
here. Bomb plant fully stuck. Somehow the bomb gets planted here. Joey goes down. What on earth is going on in this pistol round? Sports find a kill as well. They've got the bomb plant. That's a victory, but now they need to work this 3v2, and there's 2 very high HP bars here, and pretty poor rough post plants going off as well for Arizona.
Oh, but that frag is so important. Now
Yeah.
fully laced can be a real menace on this site. Now, it doesn't really play the patient game. Actually, a bit questionable. Flashbang going over the top. And, oh, is Wolfie ready? Yes, he is, but this is going to be difficult. There is a kid in hand. It's commitment, actually, here by Sports. But
Oh,
what happened to Wolfie? I don't know, but his gun wasn't out or something because
I think
he
he
couldn't
was
quite get it.
reloading.
Was he reloading? Oh, that's
I think
tragic.
so.
That would
Oh
make
no.
sense.
That was very, very unfortunate because honestly, Sports, I was
Hello?
thinking, you jiggle, you see that he's not on the bomb, you hide. Simple playing for time Counter-Strike right there. He fully committed, he wide swinged, and that was making me super nervous. If Wolfie had a single bullet in his chamber, would have won that round, but it wasn't meant to be.
No, not at all. There's the buyback here for Arizona. Off the back of that victory, it's another really aggressive purchase. I think he's kind of saw this for UNT in
Oh,
their second round. What a great look, though, from Homie. I mean, that's something you just don't check very often. He comes up with it. Speaking of coming up with it, Zyke at least come up with a frag where one probably shouldn't have been. As it's traded, yes, but still craziness ensuing. Is Homie going to continue farming cash?
yeah, I'm interested in the kind of mismatched buys here that's thrown out from North Texas. You see a couple investments, but a couple non-investments. Just USBs. So maybe option in the future, especially in Joey's hands, that makes more sense. Honestly, I would like the idea of a double op for North Texas, considering some of the strength that we saw in the first half on the D side of all things. So
Yeah.
not a bad idea, but yeah, certainly mismatched and honestly just a well played anti-eco from Arizona as well.
Yeah, they played that pretty much perfectly, I think you could say. And
Hmm.
yeah, double op. Listen, I think double op CT side here is really strong. So to
Yeah.
play it here would be a good idea in general. Here's the B rush. It's the anti-eco, and it's a bit of a not a B stack really, but you got Wolfie hiding, and Joey's found a frag as well.
Oh.
Oh, Wolfie, he's not quite ready, but he's actually got a kill of his own. Nicely done. Taking that spam, he's gonna hit the defuse, but no way they aren't aware. And yeah, it's me with that kill. This is pretty darn good damage, all things considered. But not gonna be around. UNT down by 6 now before their first gun round of the half.
Yeah, not ideal. I mean, it's workable. Again, you bring out this single op, at least in the hands of Joey. They don't quite have the investment to rock the double op. It was an option for them. I think Cypher would have had enough money, but they opt against it. No pun intended. That was a complete accident. Either way, Relay running through the flames, not scared of anything. And they're going to go for this fast A default here. They've got to take connector control, but they have a lot of presence early on towards A, so we'll see how that works out for them.
This is a highly important round for UNT. They really need to win it, but Fully Laced has other ideas. This is Mike as well. Arizona, these Wildcats are wilding right now. But Wolfie trying to answer back. Has found one. Fully Laced to go down, but still man advantage. And Wolfie able to fight back one more. Or Marley is able to trade. One more player on the site. Joey's ready to trade. He's got a double. This AWP is fantastic. He wanted the no-scope. A little bit overextending maybe, but he still got away. And it was the final frag for Cypher, who recovers an AK-47. UNT, I said it was important, and they did exactly what they needed to find that round.
Yeah, incredible stuff from Joey as well. If he wasn't so locked down in that position, could have really quickly fallen out of control there. You saw puzzle pieces coming to fruition for Arizona either way. B-Rush coming on through. They're just going all out with this one. A lot of good positions thrown out here from North Texas. Barrels are spotted, though. Swings out from Danashi. Doesn't get a single kill, though. Only actually, Rub's fully laced, but 3 players maneuvering in towards site. They don't know about Wolfie. And the back lines here, still tucked in towards Barrel.
Oh,
so close.
Man, if Wolfie could have denied that bomb plan, it would have been fantastic. But now the post plan is here, and all ready for it is Mike. It's hard to anticipate such a close angle there, I think. But Mike nearly spammed down through the smoke, but he's going to get away with the second, and Sports connects onto the AWP player as, well, he's recovered the op for himself. It's 13-7, and it is worst case scenario here for Texas. They lost the round after winning the prior, meaning their money is just straight to the bin.
Oh, yeah, that's no good. You don't like to be in that position at all. They are going for the save here. Save for the only one with a bit and returns. Everyone else really struggling. See if they get opportunities, but it's taken away very quickly. Fully laced to Mike, getting a couple of frags here, homie. Solidifying that. Last player is going to be a connector, maybe. No, held on to a little bit from Psych out. Joey's found himself a frag as he grabs the AK taken care of, and Mike finds the last as well. So no big deal for University of Arizona. Clean that round up super quickly and move on to 14 with pace here. Because think about the start of this. We were at 0-5 1 point for North Texas.
It's such a mind-boggling statistic right there, isn't it? You think you have something, and you think you're running, and then the Wildcats just, they wake up. You know, they were sleeping. They were having a nap, and they've come back with a vengeance. It's nicely done. I mean, looking for something, but I think he missed that nade, and he paid for it with his life. Unfortunately, that is courtesy of Psych Out, who is wielding one of the 2 ops for UNT, going back to Old Faithful, double op setup.
Yeah, this is certainly Old Faithful for this roster. A lot of the rounds have been manufactured with that. Here on the T side here, Joey, opportunities. He spots one out towards long. great Molotovs being thrown in. Sports holds that angle all the while. Cypher trying to hold on to this site, but he just gets overwhelmed. Psych out, though, looking to recover with an op shot around the smoke here. Sports not fully committed to this bomb plant. A little bit worried about the fact that people could be pressing the issue. Sports still not punching in those numbers. Spots out one towards the bank here, and here comes the issue. He's never planted, and it's always going to be that rush coming through as soon as they hear that bomb being tapped. That's the case. North Texas grab an 8th.
That they do, still alive here in the final stages, what could be at least the final stages of this half. That's a fantastic way to start out in these ops. They're doing it again and again here, Cole. It's just really well done. But I think the Arizona have found out what's going on. They're going to go for the quick B rush. This is what happened last time. This is what helped them to answer back. The first frag goes the way of Wolfie, and Dan Ash is actually there for help. He's got a third, in fact, as the swing comes back through. Somehow, some misses there from Sports initially, but regardless of a difficult spray, UNT do pick up 9.
Yeah, clean stuff right there from UNT. Need to string that a little bit more together, and they should be offered that opportunity considering the investment here from Arizona. Not a chance to fight back. This is now delivered. They can make the scoreline, if not a little more comfortable than they still can close it out in regulation. We'll see how long that opportunity will be for them, because only 1 round required now for Arizona. And with how well they're playing, some of those executes they've been throwing down range, it's going to require some consistently solid Counter-Strike from North Texas.
I think that Arizona actually need to play a little slower rather than a little faster in this coming gun round. But this time they've just run a long missed shot. Joey.
Oh, no.
He's going to get punished, and that's an op potentially recovered. That Fully Lay's going to know what's going on. Wolfie with a double there on the MP9. Big moves from Wolfie. And it is just on to Merle, who's left alone 1 versus 4. Cypher taking some serious damage courtesy of an HE grenade thrown by his teammate. But ultimately, Texas going to still stay healthy with 4 alive and the bomb defusal.
Yeah, nice recovery there made by Wolfie. If he wasn't able to have that high impact and deny the op recovery, that could have been a disastrous round. But instead, he holds on for his team quite strongly. But now it's going to be 4 required to tie things up for North Texas, and the guns are out. The bomb plant that came through in the last one gives them a great investment here. Interestingly enough, they aren't going for that full utility, so I'm expecting a fast play. That's exactly what we're going to meet. Head-on collision in water here. Wolfie tries to back up here. Still gets found, fully laced. So able to clear him out and take a heavy hitter off of North Texas.
Yeah, frustrating loss, that's for sure. And UNT now in a bit of a tough spot. These spam shots from Psychout are pretty darn close, but none actually hit their target. Danish on the site, another missed shot from Psychout, but Danish has the double, and Psychout isn't missing that follow-up. 1 more shot to take, 14 HP to work with. And 1 player on A, 1 player on B for Arizona. Merle knows that he needs to wait. Oh, no. No way. Merle, he's able to find that 1 frag. Looking for the second. No, not quite able to hit it. But now is time for Sports. He doesn't have the bomb, but that's stuck on the site. There's 40 seconds to work with, and they're not really prepared. They don't know what's going on. He's got both the frags. Sports, absolutely fantastic as he picks up the round. Huge clutch for Arizona as they push it to match point.
And you felt that one coming from a mile away, didn't you? Sports was just so patient. And on top of that, Merle hiding in that site, just not scared of the aggression, and then finds that 1 frag that was required. I mean, the second information play as well. It was just lined up too perfectly for Arizona to drop that one in the 1v2. Nicely done. Great closer. But it's not over just yet for North Texas, and it's proven by that frag rate there. Look who's in the back lines. Oh, Joey saves his teammate.
I mean, I don't know what's happened, but UNT, they've taken their W keys down. That's what's happened. I mean, Arizona, they're like, please stop. I can't handle things. UNT, it's 30 seconds in and they're already in the spawn.
It's happening. Oh, Cypher finds a clean one onto Merle's inning. I'm down here. Homie is going to find a response onto Joey. Still, though, bombs out of the control. And Cypher goes down as well. Mike turns around. Oh, but almost lines up too. Information as Homie is waiting patiently with the AK. One in. Wolfie keeps University of Northern Texas alive here. The issue is they're treading water. These rounds are so close.
Man, that spray down. I was ready for it. It was a lineup. It looked so darn close. But yeah, Arizona, not quite there. And not quite there means that they're going to have to go back towards the eco. Their money's pretty brutally ravished as, well, 11 to 15. This is close. I mean, UNT, they brought it back. It was very one-sided initially, but I feel as if a couple more rounds here and UNT might have the momentum that they need to overcome. It's 1-for-1. Give him a second there. Cypher has it. It's traded by Mike. Now Mike's all alone in the 1v3.
Not a great position to be in at all. Damage is going to be the name of the game at this point. Maybe a bomb plant can be comforting as well. The issue is he's heading in towards A, and that's where the rotates have arrived as well. Ups in the hands of Psycho. Oh, Wolfie, careful about things here. Gets his way towards the back of Dice. He might just post up here. Great positioning from the two remaining CTs. Mike continues to press the issue. Psych out. Barrels are going to be spotted here shortly. Yep, that's as free as it gets. 12 rounds for North Texas here, trying to close things into overtime. That's going to be the best case scenario, but they're getting there slowly but surely here. They're 3 rounds off now.
Crazy to think about it. It was, what, 14-6? Talk about comebacks. I mean, we saw one in the first, and we're seeing one here in the second. But, well, Arizona, they have at least 2 more gun rounds, this being one of them, to try and win off of. UNT right now, this buy is certainly a bit shoddy. It's not ideal. Got an MP9 and a Bombos. That MP9 going down. It's a 2-for-1 trade as Joey finds one in Merle with a third. It's again Cypher to try and answer back, but I mean, is it too little too late? Psych out. The only one on the site. Gonna try and take a moment and trade things back and forth, but there it goes. Merle on towards Cypher means this is going to have to be a 1v3 for Psychout.
Yeah, and I mean, not an easy one as well. They're hearing all of these maneuvers through connector, but Merle's going to close. I thought so for a second, but a lovely connection from Psychout. That's information gathered and half the HP off of Psychout here, so some good news still for Arizona, but it's moved into a 1v2 and a quick maneuver through connector for the remaining CT player, and he's just going to run straight in towards site. This is providing a lot of time to work this post plant here, and he's got a kid as well. So there's good news here for Psychout to keep things afloat. HE not quite thrown in just yet. He's going for the full defuse. Bomb's been tapped, but that triggers a peek from Fully Lace. Clean closer right there in the 1v2 as Arizona take the map pick of North Texas.
That they do. I mean, listen, it got awful close, didn't it? That's the reality of the situation, and I was getting a little scared there. I gotta keep it real with you, a little bit scared there at the end for the side of Arizona, but UNT, they couldn't quite make it work, unfortunately for them. And the other thing to add though here, Cole, is that, you know, credit where credit's due. Unfortunately, UNT lose their map pick, but they did make a fantastic comeback there at the end, didn't they? It made it far closer than I think that game had any business being.
Yeah, 100%. And I think what kind of triggered that was all of the right things going for University of Arizona. They gave themselves a 9-6 half, you know, on the CT side. That's about par for the course. But the thing that really was the kicker there is that they found the pistol round and the next 2. Then finally, a gun round gets responded from North Texas, but then they get fully reset in their economy. That's kind of that disaster scenario that allowed for Arizona to quickly move in towards a dominant scoreline.
Yeah, certainly is. Well, the Wildcats pick is coming up. That's going to be Mirage, and it's going to have to be a must-win for UNT. We're going to take a look at that on the flip side of this short break. We'll be back. Howdy, everybody, and welcome back. After that short break, it's another opportunity here for UNT to bring us to map 3, that ancient where we want to be. That said, Arizona up by 1 in this series so far.
Yeah, certainly. And we also got some more Counter-Strike after today. We have some October news coming at you. We have $25,000 prize pool on the line. Unfortunately, it is too late to register for that. We got the semifinals going on tomorrow at 4 p.m. EST. I'll be on there, I believe, with Pib tomorrow because you're on vacation this weekend. So I won't see you there, but it's very exciting stuff. Make sure you tune into that tomorrow. $25,000 on the line. And we got a lot of the good collegiate teams heading that way as well. So make sure you get into that. But either way, talking a little bit more about this matchup, we're into map 2. It's Arizona up, and it doesn't bode well for North Texas that we're heading into Mirage, which is going to be Arizona's map pick.
Not only Arizona's map pick, but a very strong map for Arizona. Taking a look at what we had in this last map, I should say, man, fully laced. Gotta give credit. He kind of went under the radar for me a little bit.
100%.
But so many like quality spray downs, and then of course Swartz. I don't think you could say it was under the radar. Had some fantastic stuff there with the AWP. North Texas had some moments as well. I don't want to take anything away from them, but these highlight plays, you can see them. They're mostly Arizona related, and there's sort of a reason for this. This was the turning point, in my opinion. That 15th round that Arizona picked up on the back of the 1v2 from Sports, and you got to give credit for Merle as well in that it was a 2 versus 4, and they allowed for that to come through.
Yeah, I mean, it was really just like you mentioned, a lot of highlights for Arizona. And when you are on your map pick, ideally you would like some highlights for yourself. We didn't see too much from that. North Texas, they struggled in a lot of those positions where you were down on, especially on the CT side, economically, you were able to recover all that easy. And I think the real kicker, like you mentioned, was that 1v2 from Sports. That kind of felt like not quite the finishing blow, but it was enough to take the wind out of the sails of North Texas to halt that comeback, and especially giving Arizona map point. It made matters so much worse, so much more difficult for North Texas to stay in that game mentally.
No doubt. Yeah. The mentality It definitely would have been tough. I think losing that
Mhm.
situation, especially in such a winnable scenario, looking back at it, of course. But yeah, that's the reality of Counter Strike. That's a tough thing to find. And the Wildcats, well, they're poised and ready to take this in 2-0 fashion. I'm really hoping that UNT can kind of push things and pull things back a little bit here on
Mhm.
Mirage, but in my opinion, I think this is going to be a 2-0. I think that the Wildcats probably going to take this over the edge.
Yeah, they certainly primed themselves to get there. I don't think I saw too much craziness out of the defaults from North Texas on most of those rounds. Executes were pretty lacking the same. So I don't know if Mirage is going to be any easier, but you have to imagine that if you're picking into a map like Overpass and you'd have something ready and something prepared, a molly towards barrel to deny fully laced position that consistently was finding multi frags, but that didn't come. There wasn't a lot of those strong executes that were, as a unit, a full five, and so that's a big problem to have for North Texas, especially if you're feeling a little uncomfortable into Mirage.
Yeah, and we're headed straight in towards Mirage right this moment. The pistol round is underway. Some good utility there for Arizona, who's starting out on the T side, and then on towards that CT side, UNT. But this is the execute. Two smokes. Four flashes, two of which go out immediately. Quick frag though by Wolfie, making it double. Joey involved as well, and he's got two in his pocket. It's where it's all left alone. 1 versus 5, and he can't even get the one. Joey with a third. What a great pistol round for UNT. That's the way to start it off.
That's exactly what they need. Joey as well, and Wolfie, the combo that was doing a lot of the heavy lifting. I guess Psych Out was there, but they were some of the standout players, getting a lot of that A side lockdowns done. And I think it was just super well read of a round right there. You saw that they had so much presence on A. They weren't playing the common retake position, so it worked out swimmingly. Oh, nades just bounced right off that wall. Otherwise, it would have been beautiful. But Dinash walks away unscathed.
Tough luck right there. Shots fired here, and Psych Out Cypher doing some work. It's a good couple of kills actually, and that MP9 gonna farm some cash, and that's a little bit mistimed on that HE throw. What he was going for, and how hard sometimes that throw can be to make. But Omi is left all alone here. He's trying to bait somebody in. Nice, a second kill for him. No additional $600, be 1,200 total. That would be pretty darn solid,
Oh,
and he definitely knows what's going on now. Nice shot from Danash though. Gets a
no
tag.
kidding. Very careful about that one as well. Oh, here's
What?
another. Oh, thank God. Psych Out bringing us back to reality, but that's a hefty amount of damage taken off the pockets. Even an opportunity to find that frag on to Danash there could have been a disaster for
He
North
could have won.
Texas. They avoid it.
If he had gotten Danash, he could have won the round. That's how
Oh,
crazy
yeah.
that was.
100%. A bomb plant, even at the very least. That, a huge overperformance right there. Oh, hello.
Push. Crash in here by Joey. And that MP9 is not going to be good enough. It's fully laced, and Mike with two opening frags, homie. Moving around the backside and fully laced. What a great find. Cypher thought he was trying to trade one back, but unfortunately just gives up another frag for the Wildcats. And it's looking like this first gun round, unless UNT can pull off some heroics, is going to be Arizona's.
Yeah, and unfortunately, they're heading into Last Alive is Wolfie with a Deagle. I mean, Psycho could have helped out in finding some success there, but kill possible. Manufactured from Wolfie. He's able to grab one. They're giving him solo fights here, so he's found himself a second. Oh, don't scare me. Now, even a third takes the fight after Wolfie's on fire with some of these shots here. He has a kit in his hand as well. He's off of it, though, and eventually the double swing will come through from both Sports and Homie. Close that one out. Arizona take one, but a nice attempt from Wolfie towards the tail end.
Yeah, man, Arizona making me sweat a little bit there. Just thinking they were going to maybe give away a little bit too much, but no, does not happen. And with that, UNT now 2-1 in the lead. And look at this. The damage done in that prior round by, I believe it was Homie. Yes, Homie, who had those extra frags. I mean, this is what that's done. It's a full save, an eco for UNT, and this B bomb site is wide open.
Yeah, that's a bummer for North Texas, who are trying to come back into this one, take the map pick off of Arizona here to get a nice start, but then get denied from some nice shooting in the previous, or rather 2 rounds previous. Now exits are going to be the name of the game. Try and find some damage, collect an AK or two. That would be nice. But it's going to be so difficult. USP's on the corner. Cypher, opportunity. He actually does so much damage. It's incredible here. Wolfie lets 2 slip the cap and really finally choose to strike here.
He's waiting a long time. You
He
might
might
wait
be
a
able to
little.
grab the AK and held onto it. Ooh.
Oh, it's a nice find. And he hits away too. AK recovered.
That's huge. And honestly, that nets them a buy in this round. Look at this. He drops that AK over.
Oh
Wolfie,
man.
not sure. Okay, no, he gets the AK back in his hands. I was about to say, that man dropped the AK that he was able to save to his teammate and is now on a P250. But luckily, he does get that back over to him. So it's going to be a decent fight here. And an even better start. Danash gets the first opening frag.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way that Arizona are believing that there's 2 ops in this round for UNT. That's sort of incredible, and I can see it as I'm speaking. Right? I mean, Psych out with a nice little frag there. That headshot, really well timed. Joey, oh, really fantastic play there. The ops doing work as well as Psych out from Cat.
Flawless round could be huge here. It should be sports. Anything that you can find here is going to be a tad bit of damage to the economy. But nice jiggle thrown out there from Cypher. That is beautiful. And a full team ace being thrown out on the side of North Texas to get them that gun round. Very nice from both of the ops as well. You can see clean connection here. Risky play, but gets away with it. And then this one as well from Joey.
I think that's such a good play because Arizona, there's just no way they're expecting an op.
Yeah.
I mean, not with the economy the way that it was looking, and yeah, I just don't think they were anticipating that as a possibility. Drop, it's good to bait out the shot from Joey. And it's Wolfie up close and personal. He's got one, but he's immediately traded. Homie onto Joey as well is a nice find. So the op's down. There's still Danash, who's ready and waiting. Cypher with a big win onto Homie. You said it's 3v3.
Very aggressive thrown in there from Homie. As it puts North Texas in evens now. And they're playing in some very decent post plants. Molly goes past sports, so he's able to continue to tuck in towards Firebox. Great position to be in here as they continue to make the retake happen. Smoke thrown out to the bomb, but again, all eyes are on the player in the back of Firebox. He goes down, though. 2 quick frags here, leaves Merle last alive, but this is going to be a chance spamming down the range here. Danash is sticking it. He doesn't expect it. Full defuse thrown in. Unbelievable nerves being held out there. Despite taking so much damage, he continues to stick the bomb.
I know. I mean, at that point, you gotta continue sticking it, right? But it's gotta be so frustrating for Merle. It's hard to be in any way negative about the way Merle was playing that, because how are you supposed to know? Like, it's a 50-50, and Merle took the wrong decision, unfortunately. He flipped the coin, and that's what happened.
Certainly. Cypher, nice trades here as they continue to take mid control. Sports really can't peek in yet. Failed out there from the op and connector. Is a trade back there from Homie, but it's another clean connection towards underpass here. So they're back to that 5 rounds here. We'll see if a little bit of a curse plagues North Texas, or if they're able to continue to try and gather some steam in this first half. We got a timeout, though, called out.
Yeah, interesting time for a timeout. Though I don't think that Arizona, if this is a tactical one, this isn't a bad idea. They're going to
Not
have
at
a
all.
bye, right? They've had some trouble. They've had some limited success. And if you look at the score, Homie has 10 kills and everyone else has 2. So clearly some individuals on Arizona not quite activated just yet, I think is the right way to say that. And, that's a good opportunity to take a moment and just think about what's going on and how you're going to adjust.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Honestly, though, to couple that point, it was a CT side that looked a lot more comforting for University of Arizona. I think
Mm.
the big kicker in their second half, the reason they were able to close out was the fact that they won that pistol round and they were doing a great job of toppling the economy of North Texas in an overpass. But the issue is now here, they haven't done that just yet. And so if that becomes an issue here, maybe we can inch closer and closer to a third map. North Texas are kind of proven that they can lock down a map like Mirage and maybe hint at an ancient being played out here.
Would be fantastic. I know I know you're excited for the potential ancient.
Oh, I
I
want it so bad.
I too am. Just a little bit less so. I don't mind either way, but I definitely think that seeing maps that are they're newer like ancient is good for the just general CS:GO community and everything. Seeing that on
Mhm.
stream, love to have that, but nonetheless, time ticking away, and well, if I'm Arizona, I think that I'm talking about how our mid control isn't really working very well, and we're getting countered by the AWP of
Mhm.
when Danash has it, his, but also Joey's. So I think that's probably the key. How do you adjust for that? And there's a couple of different options, I think, but I'm curious to see what Arizona is going to bring to the table. As oh, what is this buy? What have they
Yeah, I
done?
don't know. Not sure what exactly is in store here, but whatever it is, it might be a world of hurt if they head in towards B. Three players are ready here as the smokes. No flashbangs thrown out just yet. Homie somehow avoids the op shot narrowly, but doesn't avoid the headshot that rains his way.
No.
But all three players on the B bomb site go down in an instant. So now it leaves just Wolfie and Dinaj left on the retake here. Not exactly ideal, that's a guarantee. This could be a great way to get back into things if they even want to try this retake. That's the question for the ZT side.
E-Rush. No way it works. Oh my goodness. Merlate not going to get tagged by that fire. It's
Oh,
huge
wow.
and it allows Radanash to go down. Merlate with the nice shots on target. Oh no. Arizona. I said, what the heck's going on? What is this by? What is going, what's the reason for it? I guess I found my answer. I can't believe I'm saying it, but that B rush was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe it either. And I think the real kicker was the fact that they were able to not only scale quickly towards site, but that cat player, that was that last line of defense for that
Mm.
fast aggression with the Tech Nines, helping out Joey, helping out Cypher on the backside of things. But Mike clears that one out, and that's the game changer. That's a real kicker there. So now we're getting back in towards an A hit where it's fully vacated. There's only one towards stairs. That's Joey. One towards CT and Wolfie. But numbers are dwindling here. Homie does get taken down. Joey with a nice reaction, and Wolfie doubles down before finally Mike's able to clear things out. Mike might take some damage to the Deagle, but it's still an advantage for North Texas.
Somehow, some way, UNT are still very much alive here. Sports with a frag that looks nice, but Joey, oh, it's just so pretty looking when he gets going with that AK-47, and going he is, as it's going to be UNT with an immediate round afterward. They are telling us that, listen, Arizona may have been able to make that B rush work, but that's not the story of this first half.
And I think a big issue here as well for Arizona is how they play about some of these mid rounds here. They're going for some aggression, especially with the site in their control. It is super punishing. They're lacking some of those flashbangs, and that
And
leaves them in bad
trades.
positions. Oh, 100%. Back towards mid. This is risky. I don't know if I like this all that much because mid has been such a problem factor here. And there's one still sticking around. Joey makes his presence known. Backs are turned towards Catwalk. And yeah, this is the issue that ever seems to be present here. The mid aggression that comes through, it always nets University of North Texas a man advantage, if not more.
Yeah, I mean, it's something I picked up on during that timeout that the attempted mid controls just simply were not working for various factors. But the other thing is, right, like, I'm not saying you have to give up mid entirely, but I mean, just be a bit more patient. You can see how often UNT are getting aggressive here.
I mean, at this point, it's been every round that they've pushed top mid, at least on some of those rifle rounds. And some of the positions that they sneak themselves into, and just the fact that there's so much presence. I don't know if Arizona are going to have a nice reaction to that ever, or if they need to just continue with some of those fast A or B hits. I mean, those might be their only two answers.
Well, and I mean that's literally been the only answer, right? It's been
Mhm.
fast A and fast B, those two particularly. So
Yeah.
nonetheless, 7-3, and I really think that it's time for Arizona to rethink. This is, I mean, you said it yourself, an incredibly dangerous play that often should be punished, but it just was not. You had the backup necessary, and everyone picks up a kill of their own, meaning that Arizona are just gonna have to find an answer.
Looking good on their CT side here, Joey. That was a little bit of a gap to work off of. Mike, not going to be able to spot. I was wondering if there's a little gap in that smoke, but Joey's careful about things. A boost, though, that could maybe show the heads. Oh, but it only is their
Woo!
demise there. Joey taking two down. Lovely stuff. But Cypher does get caught off guard. So there is an answer here.
Yeah, but I don't know if that answer is, well, much more than a moment in time, as Arizona realistically still down by one, still poor on firepower, lacking armor on sports, and much, much more. It's 1 minute ticks away. It's as if the T side grouping towards B, but Psych Out is in position. He's going to take it first, going to fall back, and actually going to throw the molly first and delay before falling back, or maybe even taking the fight. Nope, no fight being taken, not just yet. It's plenty of time for these rotations to come through, and Wolfie has those shots every single day of the week.
Oh, aim punch. Catching homie off guard, but actually it's Danash that finds a finishing blow in that round. This is strong stuff from North Texas. Again, just more of the same. Get another buyout from Arizona here. I think we're going to need to see a few more rounds to try and convince me that they can close Raj out, because right now North Texas seem like they're in full control of things in every sense of the word. Mid control specifically as well. They just have no sweat off the brow.
And here we go again. Arizona, they're just continually putting so much pressure here in the mid area, despite the consistent losses. That's good damage being done to Danash there, and it is a good idea, Joey, trying to connect to the smoke, but it's not to be. Arizona, I think they'll be okay, especially because, like you said, their CT side was strong. If they just pick up a couple of rounds here, gotta keep things reasonable.
Yeah, that's the real key here. That's the kicker. You need to grab a couple for you to feel all comfortable here. And so far, nothing has convinced me that they'll be able to find that. Nice straight out from Wolfie on the site. Reveals his position, but is happy with his position as well. Relay spots the shoulder. There's a nice trade back. Joey's close by to look for the response here. Good jiggle in from Relay. Back's returned as well from Mike, but he's able to find the reaction onto a low HP bar of Joey. From Catwalk, Cypher makes his presence known. Still 2v2 as even as it gets. The trades back and forth continue. CT from Psych Out coming through. Catches the backs turned and spots. He's got his trusty AWP, but he doesn't have much life in him. He's been given an opportunity. That connection. Throw cap misses, but Psych Out does not. Lovely connection from long range as we enter into 9-3. And this is kind of feeling like it's getting out of control. Nothing is working for Arizona.
Yeah, it feels like that Arizona, they're certainly floundering just a little bit. They're not sure what to do. They don't know what the answer is, and so they're just kind of going back to Old Faithful. But Old Faithful hasn't been very faithful this time out. And here we go again. B rush it is, as well. Nothing's working, so let's rush B. Nice shot, opening there by Mike. Mike, and a missed shot from Psych Out means that it's gonna work
Oh my
again.
god.
Oh my goodness, this is outrageous. But it's UNT to fall for now.
It's getting out of control right now. I mean, it is truly unbelievable that throughout the map, we see nothing work, no connections. on mid control, despite some decent defaulting being thrown out from Arizona. But once they just throw the fast A and or fast cap smokes left and right, it's the perfect call because apparently so many resources, I guess, from North Texas are being thrown towards the mid side of things that they aren't prepared for any sort of defense towards A, and this has become rather pricey of a round here for North Texas as well.
Well, I mean, pricey. I think always losing a round on the CT side going to be pricey. But
Yeah.
yeah, particularly so for UNT. And look at the money. I mean, this is what has all those rounds for UNT given them? Not much, at least not in the form of economy. So Joey, though, with that opening tool, able to find a fantastic look, and there he goes again. Joey on the shot as UNT looking to solidify a double-digit finish in the first half. That makes sense. At least has something to say, but oh, Tanesh in the fantastic spot there, underpass, gonna get the double spray down. It's only one left alive. Homie, 1 versus 1.
Oh, okay. A little bit dirty, but it gets the job done. Still 3 more to go, and they're all trained on his position. Minute on the clock to work around here for Homie. A couple different opportunities, but it looks like he'll go through the smoke on this one. Brute force his way onto A. He's able to slip past it. Oh no, Dan Ash. Barrels might be shown as well. Oh, he spots out that barrel, I think. Spots out that other barrel. There you go. Good news here. Gets this AK out. Able to take the fight. But I don't think he spotted out Dan Ash, actually. It seems like he's unaware. And it should be the closer from this AWP playing perfectly around the box. Homie, very careful about how he plays this one. Not getting his rifle out just yet. Or rather bomb, I should say. It has allowed for another rotate to come in board here. It will be shut out. Rather psych out. Just shut out that round. Homie taken care of. And it could only be 4 that's offered over to Arizona.
Really well done. I mean, this is UNT just kind of being in control. Something we really hadn't seen. They're on game number 1, despite it being UNT's pick. Yeah, and I mean, Arizona currently doing a great job of attempting some of these rounds, but that's the problem. Attempts, they don't get you anywhere. They just give you, you know, opportunities, which, well, UNT are taking. They're doing a fantastic job of it. This frag there initially by Homie, and he's got a second as well. The drop there from Merle is not quite good for a frag, but lots of damage being done elsewhere as Mike the one to actually clean things up. Homie gonna be able to pick up a third there on the round as UNT, they don't find their 11th, but man, this is a different UNT squad, it feels, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, definitely is. I have a bit of a head scratching moment as well with some of the rounds that they're able to win. Very hard to keep up with, what is going wrong with Arizona and how North Texas, despite looking so dominant in some rounds, struggle with holding off B, like simple B rushes. Very, very, very confusing. Either way, we head into second half of play here. Arizona are on their more comforting map. The question is 5 enough of a cushion to close out Mirage?
I don't think so. Maybe not right now. Sports trades one there with the Nash. Cypher going to be able to find one on the push. Sports still alive and kicking, but not for long as Cypher pushes him out of his position. 3 versus 2. A nice double swing there, and Psych out. Going to take Homie out as well. Now Merle 1v3. He's got the first already. Smoke goes down for the push, and 5-second defuse. They might not be in time. This is a stick from Merle. What fantastic work there. Psych out. Gonna have the kill, but it doesn't matter. Arizona have the round.
Okay. So it's tricky to keep up with there, certainly, but yeah, that's a bit of a heartbreaker for North Texas. I mean, you get that second round bomb plant buy-in. That's going to be really nice and handy. But even still, they're all over the place with their investment in this one. Joey isn't even fully investing. I continue to scratch my head in this matchup with some of the decision making, and again, just the post plants right there. Two players alive, bomb planted for Palace, in the default position, but no one's playing close by. Everyone's in connector and jungle.
Yeah, and well, the player who would have been CT kind of gone. But oh, that's fantastic from Homie. A couple of key frags, and this push is gone oh so poorly. Fully laced, man. Wow, well done to keep his composure, considering that position, considering getting aim punched. It's all to Joey, who has the deagle in his hand. He's gonna have heard that one player had rotated out. He's looking for him right this moment.
Yeah, he just wants to take one down. He wants to be a little bit of a chaos in the system here. The issue is, okay, knifes out. Sports gonna hit the dirt there, but not before he flies in the sky at a little bit of a ragdoll. A quick reaction being made here. Mike, Jiggle Peaks comes through. You're playing a risky game there, and yeah, that's exactly the right read here. Go ahead and give some space over to Joey. Let him work out this round his own way. Mike still posted by the shelves. I don't know if this will be fully expected. Yeah, clean angle held to close things out as Arizona grabbed themselves a 7th. And here's where the partial investment continues to bewilder me. Look at the money here. Whereas if you either went for the full save, you would have had all of the money in the world to get AKs and utility. If you would have went for the full investment in the last one, you might have had a better chance. But they kind of went for a hybrid of both in the worst possible way.
Yeah, that's kind of one of those situations where making a decision is highly important. If you if you go halfway, half measures are never good measures. I think is a good rule of thumb, particularly for Counter Strike. You want to go 100% one way or the other. Well, Arizona currently going towards the shooting heads side of the equation as they clean up what is a really clean anti-eco round. Not a single point of damage done to any Arizona player. And, well, of course, not a single player falling as well.
And here comes the round that we're all waiting for here, the first gun round, to see if Arizona can continue to lock things down or if they'll see that same sort of dominant North Texas. Issue being here is that they're going to go for that same mid-aggression. We'll see how it works out for them. Will it go just the same? So far, trades are going back and forth, and they're a man up with a bomb in their control. They're going to just try and play this 2v3 more patiently. They're not going to continue to press the issue. They'll give up that bomb control and are happy with their man advantage, but that was just an all-out bloodbath.
Yeah, a little bit. And honestly, do you just group up 3 in one site here to take advantage of your player advantage? I don't know if that's a good call or not. Good question, though. Nice damage done there on his Cypher. Really good reaction
as well.
too. And oh my goodness, Marley, he's playing a dangerous game there, but boy, it didn't work out. As that's going to be 9-10. Arizona, they have quickly bridged this gap.
They sure have. I mean, we're now 1 round off of a tied scoreline with only 4 Glocks, a lot of HEs, which I imagine are going to go ahead straight in towards the window room. We'll see if they're in for a world of hurt here. Sports might not be having too good of a time, but oh, he just touchdowns a nade onto all of them, and Merle's going to collect a frag as well.
It's good looking. Really, really solid. The anti-ecos have been very quality from Arizona in this second half. Not even a second kill there as Wolfie goes to bed. 10-all. Arizona. These Wildcats are definitely making plays.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And look at the economy as well. 12K onto one player. I think Merle was up towards 12K before buying that op over to Sports. They are building up a healthy bank. Not only are they tying the scoreline here, a risky play from Wolfie. It's a 1-for-1 trade, an unbelievable one at that. It's very impressive hyper aggression thrown in from him. But the same case for Fully Laced. And now they're gathering control, but not for too much longer here. The double op T side once again rolling on off here. It's Psych Out and Joey picking up the mantles.
I mean, how can you expect double op T side Mirage? I feel like, Mirage, is it somewhat plausible? Sure, but it's really just about spawns, isn't it? It's about picks, initial picks. That's what the op is best for, and well, it's certainly been what it's been able to do 3-on-3, and bomb in hand now can easily throw this execute down, but there's only one smoke. Among those three players, only one singular smoke, meaning something has to be left open.
Yeah, I mean, the good news is I think that for the most part, A should be pretty easily controlled. The Sports is the solo player there. He's able to sneak past the gap and through CT. Risky adjustment there being made. And the connection failed. Through the smoke. Oh,
What?
that works out for Danash somehow. And 2 push through after. What is going on here? North Texas, finally a second half round. But man, like, it was absurdity after absurdity for the most part.
Yeah, they just had some craziness right there. I don't know how it worked. Like you said, it probably shouldn't have. Maybe some lucky moments for sure going through, but nonetheless, the lead regained. And here we are. UNT, they are still flush with money, as is Arizona, but there's Merle with an opener, and there's no one to trade, which means that it's a sudden advantage once again here for Arizona.
Yeah, and a lot of information gained as well here. 3 players stacked over towards A is going to bode well for them. They're playing some really risky spots here. You can see, made worse though, is that Fully Lace has found the sole B lurk. So it's going to be a super telegraphed A hit at the end of the day. Joey, so close to connecting there, but misses the mark by an inch. And I mean, at this point, a minute left to work with. An A-site commitment is questionable to say the least, but I don't know. They look like they're continuously going that way.
I mean, at this point, a commitment is questionable because you have to commit into what is a 3 versus 5. You know, it's never going to be great. It's always going to be somewhat telegraphed considering the utility that you're working with. So you're just going to have to deal with it. And, well, I think that's what I did see at some point. Arizona, though, they're looking poised to tie this game right back up unless this 3v5 can be turned around immediately.
I don't know if they're even going for it at the moment. 15 on the clock. I think they're saving.
Fair.
The call's already been made. And yeah, you're exactly right. There is no commitment to be made here. Nice read. Honestly, I have to respect it here. Joey's got to be careful about things as he's beaking around with the op. I'm sure you could hunt a little bit here if you're the CT side. I always take a risk at that, but after the round ends, it's really worth it to drop weapons here. Oh, okay.
Tough.
A little bit dicey. 2 weapons dropped, but not the end of the world there. It was worth the risk. If they were able to drop those 2 weapons, really could have caused some strain, but back to tied scorelines 11s.
Indeed it is. This game, though, oh, so very close. Arizona, they're right back in the driver's seat. And you talked about it, and a great call by you. You know, noticing that CT side was really the big side for Arizona. And as soon as they've swapped these sides, they have been a very different team here on Mirage. It's been consistent. And speaking of consistent sports, a consistent fragger as he finds that first opening duel.
So much damage as well. Dan Ash taking low. There's a nice position for Mike. Mike with low HP. He's able to connect onto 1. Does his job considering he was just an inch away from death. Way careful about things. Has given over it. Equals, but Sports takes it right back and continues to man advantage. It's Psych out on the site. Clean headshot onto 1. Jumping though is Cypher to give things back over, and it's just back and forth. Psych out now in a workable 1v2. Isolating the first fight, but Fully Lace somehow curves the bullet to take care of Psych out and move Arizona onto 12.
I gotta correct you there, Cole. That wasn't your curvature. You just shot him straight through the box. He said, "That's no problem, dude. I don't need to see. I'll just shoot you through the wall." I mean, how outrageous as that sounds. Didn't even need to confirm that shot. 12-11. Is this the first lead for Arizona? I believe so. And yeah, I don't think they've ever been in the lead yet. As
you're right with that one.
Well, double up now on the Arizona side of things, and that's really courtesy of just the dropped AWP more than anything.
100%. Yeah, that's going to be nice to hold on to. It's still a very expensive round here, and Arizona, because of a couple close rounds strung together, they're not in the best standings. The B rush coming through here. Joey first in with the AWP, and he gets cleared and cleared from Homie. Fully Lace holds the back line as well. It's more information spotted. They all try and come through, but Fully Lace is cleaning them as they ever get in. Homie takes one down as well. Psych out again, last alive, looking to do some damage. Good for a frag, but that's all he'll gather as Arizona moves the dial to 13 now.
Yeah, and it's a full house between Homie and Fully Laced. 3 for Homie, 2 for Fully Laced. Really strong B hold there. It's been really quality, of course, beforehand, but good look. And you're right. I can't imagine why we're seeing an AWP go first on a B rush. That's just unheard of. Nice grenade. But wait, no way. Mike,
Right?
poor guy. I feel bad for him. Though, unfortunately, Sports has found an answer. 4 versus 4. And as I say, scratch that off. It's another one for Sports. He's got the connections.
Yeah, cleaning this one up with some beauty to it. Fully Laced to find the last there. Arizona do end up closing it despite Mike frustrated with the start of that round, I'm sure. They have no issues there. Look at this, though. Lined it up, not a worry.
Beautiful.
Just too clean.
I mean, and, you know, that's found milliseconds before he's blinded, too. Oh, so nice. 2 ops, 2 sides, 1 shot. Missed from Psych out. And this is the push from UNT. They're going for mid-control here. It's been equally not so effective, I think, for UNT, as Fully Laced takes 2 heads with the AWP. Mike 1 with the A1S. As the shots go for Joey has an idea, but he's tagged up. No way.
He's still up
Fully
there.
Laced. He continues to commit. That is outrageous, Fully Laced. You should never be able to get away with it, but he does. It's a triple kill for him as Arizona are looking towards match point.
Oh, I almost guarantee that he was not expecting him to stay up there.
No.
Oh, could you imagine? You're sitting there, you're like, oh, I just took an op shot. I have the most favorable angle in the world. Look at this. First connection, finds the second as well. Just so very clean. Denies that full mid control. Here's Joey. Poor Joey. Fall off that boost. Why don't you? Not quite. You see him standing up tall. He was just faking you out. That is a work of art there from Fully Laced.
Man, that's honestly quite disgusting. I'm a bit taken aback by that one. And I mean, Arizona. That's showing the class that they have. Psych out gonna have spotted out 1 player. He's gonna repeat. Oh my goodness, Mike. He knows he's been spotted. He's like, I'll take the swing anyway.
Yeah.
As he hears 1 player fall back, and Palace, it's 11-15 in Arizona. They're on the cusp.
Yeah, it's a great way to put it here. Joey's on low HP as well. Good needs to force Homie off of a more passive line, but again, Fully Laced has been locked down from Catwalk to support. Homie moves in towards a great position, and it is Fully Laced to help out on that B side hold. It just seems like he's always able to have high impact whenever they do head in towards B, and Homie has a really easy job. Joey, job not so easy. 1v5 finds the first, but there's still 4 more to go, and with a quarter of his HP, doesn't get the job done there. It will be a 2-0, as we kind of thought it would be. Arizona cleaned that one up very nicely.
Yeah, I mean, listen. That said, we gotta kind of take apart this series a little bit, because Arizona, they had the lead there in the first map, and they nearly got brought back upon. Then they didn't have the lead. They were in fact on the back foot for the majority of map number 2, but they were able to just bring it back round after round in very impressive fashion. What do you think really was the key to them being able to do that, as we take a look at some of these fantastic highlights?
I mean, I think in Mirage, it was just the fact that they, again, not only had individuals stepping up to the plate, but they also had a great lockdown CT side. Not only did they have Sports wielding the mantle and having a much more impactful second half, they had Fully Laced locking down B, making that just an impossible place to try and hit. So A or mid was their only option, and when they headed that way, there was Fully Laced ready, Sports ready with the op. So much effective lockdowns in that second half for Arizona to just clean that one up.
Yeah, I think Fully Laced, obviously a big factor. Sports as well. those ops really ringing true. And I think
Hmm.
that, unfortunately for UNT, those double ops that they so relied upon, they were out double opt. And that's just an unfortunate reality where I think that it wasn't even, in all honesty, the strength of the individual operas. It was just the individual plays that were going through. I think that, I think that UNT could have found some of those plays. They just didn't in this case, and it really was a frustrating way to go out. And well, talking about implications here as well, UNT now down in that third place tie, where so they should be going down towards fourth, where Arizona, these Wildcats, they're set up. They've got the now 7-1, and on top
Hmm.
of that, they're able to pull off that second place and pretty much be solidified there. But
Hmm.
I have heard that things are just about ready for our interview. But first, I want to talk about how every 180 seconds someone is diagnosed with a blood cancer, and 40% of all pediatric cancers are blood cancers. Every blood, every blood cancer diagnosis turns lives upside down. And when this happens, the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, or LLS, is here to help. Since 1949, LLS has invested more than 1.3 billion in research, pioneering many of today's most innovative approaches. They work tirelessly to find cures and ensure patients can access the life-saving treatments that they need. When someone experiences the fear and uncertainty of a cancer diagnosis, LLS provides hope, compassion, education, and support. So just like LLS is making an impact in the cancer community, the LLS hero of the game represents a player who made the biggest impact in the match played, whether it was a clutch play, a sacrifice, or provided strong leadership when it mattered most. Today, the LLS hero of the game is Merle, who we have on the call for an interview here. So we bring him in. Merle, how are you doing?
I'm pretty good. It's Merle, by the way.
Merle,
No
apologies,
worries.
my friend. Congratulations on the victory. How does it feel coming off of it? Were you guys worried in any way coming into this game?
So we have a pretty solid map pool, and honestly, our CT sides, as we saw today, sort of just dominate our performance. So, map one, I think 9-6 was a little bit closer than we wanted, but we have
Hmm.
some good execs that we whipped out. We still have a few saved that we'll hopefully display later in the season. So we felt pretty comfortable on Overpass. And Mirage, we got off to a bit of a slow start for our T side. Definitely felt like it could have been closer. We had a few miscommunications, but overall, it ended well. Had a solid CT finish.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think really catalyzed your solid CT sides?
Um, so I think that we all play off of each other really well. I've known these guys for a while, some of them through high
Hmm.
school. And so we just have that synergy of understanding who's playing where. We all have our defined roles, and everyone plays their spots well. So we know if someone wants to go for a pick, if someone calls they want to do something, it's full 100% trust. Everyone's on board.
Going back towards that map number one, there was a key moment that I think we on the cast really were looking into. It was that 1v2 where Sports had the flank, up through heaven. Was that kind of the mental tide turn for you guys, to where you were able to kind of close out that game?
Yeah, so that was a good round because we basically sat up and then it kind of just crunched down to like a 2v4 in a second. And then I was stuck default site and I think I got the first and then we knew another was pit.
Hmm.
And basically all the comms are just Merle, just wait, just wait, just wait. And so just stay
Yeah.
alive. And then I check obviously my mini map. I see Chris. I see him doing his thing flank and I know, okay, we've got this round secure. So sure enough, the guy swings me, but it was just in time for him to be heaven. And that was a really good
Hmm.
momentum booster for us.
Yeah, I mean, I was so confident that you were going to at one point peek out and like make a mistake there, but you just held your position. So that was really strong.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. And with that, though, one final question for you before we let you go. Do you have anyone you want to shout out, say hello to?
All right, well, shout out the boys. Shout out homie, my roommate. Shout out Avram, Chris, Mike. Thank you all for coming. Thank you to the U of A supporters and anyone that watched the stream. Thank you so much. Thank you, mom, dad, and I love you all. Thank you guys for having us.
Well, it's an absolute pleasure to have you here, Merle, and congratulations to you and your team on the victory. And of course, good luck with the rest of your season.
Thank you. Go Wildcats.
With that, we are headed towards the end of our first series here. But Cole, we got two. It's not over just yet. It is going to be our next matchup, Ashland and Central Michigan University. But we're going to take a short break before we get started there. So go get some water, get some snacks, and definitely tune back in on the flip side of this break. Alrighty, welcome back to the NACE Starleague. It's CSGO, and we've already had a first series of the day. We're headed in towards our second. It's Ashland and Central Michigan University to come. Myself, Vincent, alongside of Cole here in the booth once again. I'm excited for this, Cole.
Yeah, I'm very excited as well. But something else I'm excited about is the Counter-Strike we've got going on this weekend. We got October going on. $25,000 is on the line, brought to you by CSL and Prize Picks. A lot of good teams are going to be there. I believe we're heading into the semifinals at 4 p.m. EST around these parts. You can find it at twitch.tv/CSL, same place as you do here. So make sure you tune into that tomorrow. It starts at 4 p.m. EST. Going to be some great matches, so make sure you tune in.
Yeah, and you'll be over there. I won't. Unfortunately, I'm vacationing, the sorts, just having a good time. But you know what? We're having a good time here on this matchup as well. Ashland Central Michigan University. Let's take a look at these two teams. It's some players that we haven't necessarily seen before. Austin, CS, Velocity, Zeusmeister, Zen's, Potato Wolf for Ashland, and on the Central Michigan side, MX3, AYC, Stone Cold, Heon, and Mile CS. Let me ask you, Cole. Initially, what are your thoughts on these two teams? You've done some looking at where they're at.
Yeah, I mean, so I've got a couple of different resources. I know the boys over at Davenport have been looking at some of the top teams and have been trying to judge them, and they put some respect on Ashland's name. The same case for Central Michigan. I will say, though, that they really spoke highly of Austin here on this roster of Ashland, and so there's a player that's kind of hinted on my radar a couple of times. He has a lot of experience under his belt and is going to be kind of the heavy lifter if they want to take on a team like Central Michigan. The records there on the bottom of your screen are pretty evident of about how good these teams are. I believe Ashland University have lost to both the Huskies and MTU and Akron as well. So there's a couple of issues there, and the season, but Central Michigan, they have a 6-1 record. They haven't played Akron yet, so that's something to keep in note as well.
Yeah, definitely a good roster. But with that being said, we already know where we're going. Our first map going to be Mirage, and it's going to be Ashland's pick as well. I'm excited to see what they have to offer. Definitely, the Huskies a really strong contender. They were a playoff team last year, so the fact that that there's some losses there, I don't think is necessarily going to be a do or die moment for either of
Mhm.
these teams because of how good that Huskies roster is. So,
Yeah.
that being said, like I said, Mirage up first, and we're actually just about ready to get in. That'll be followed by Overpass and Dust 2 should we need it, but we're going straight in towards Mirage. We had Mirage just in our last series, and we're starting off with it here.
Good lord, it is truly an absurdity how many times we see mirages and overpasses. The good news this year is that we finish things off on Dust 2. So, we'll get, I think this will be the first time in Collegiate that we see Dust 2 with the new changes. Either way, B attack is coming on through here from Ashland University, looking to try and make their way quick and fast in towards the E-bomb site. And so far, they found some success. These 3 opening frags make it a 4th here as they are able to disable the stack here. Potato Wolf trying to fight back. He is found out from Hayon, who's got himself a workable 1v2. He just needs to find a kit somewhere on site.
Certainly a situation that could be winnable, but that makes it so much more difficult. And Austin going to close that one down. Hayon, nice attempt, but it's just not quite there. So Ashland with a strong start here. I mentioned this is their map pick. So gotta keep that in mind as well. Here, Central Michigan looking to answer back, but they just have some pistols. 3 HEs though, so could be going for the old nade stack, and that's looking to be towards B, but nobody going that direction for Ashland just yet.
Yeah, I mean, I do recognize a logo there in Austin as well. So he's a premier player, a lot of experience under his belt, and one of the players that can get things activated. He was the closer in the last round. An interesting investment here. A lot of cheese here. All right, well, we won't talk about that one. That's a certainty. That was a bit awkward.
Forgotten.
Yeah, we'll wipe that from our memory. No worries there, Truck Lover. We didn't see anything.
So we certainly saw that. Nice shots. Austin in the corner here. Gonna connect on 2, maybe even a 3rd. Yes, he does clean that 3rd up. So a good start here for Ashland. As I think now understanding where Austin's at as a player, I think this Ashland side is stronger than we were giving credit.
Right? Yeah. I wasn't sure if it was the same Austin, but it is. I can tell the logo gave up the game there, and that is a frightening player because he's been on my radar for quite some time now. He's been a super impressive player. I've looked a lot at that Strife roster, and he has been a pretty heavy hitter on that team. And so the fact that he's been sticking it out with this collegiate roster as well, super promising here. Is this A take coming on through. CT spawn position's great from Hayon here, but so far it's just only damage from him. Luckily, Stone Cold delivers 2 opening picks here to make things so much easier. But eventually that site will become compromised, and the T's are closing on positions.
Ooh, nice little find there from MX3. As it's a great way to find an opening. It's 2 versus 4. Austin and Truck Lover in position. There's an AK there for Austin and a Galil for Truck Lover. Austin with the opening. Truck Lover with the follow-up. Actually, Austin actually grabs that frag from him. It would have been good. Nice flashbang. But AYC still very much in position as MX3 comes back in for more. Both players tagged down relatively low here for Ashland as that bomb can be attempted to be planted. As I say that, though, Austin swings and finds a 3rd. Going to get all the way in towards CT, making AYC's life just that much harder. As AYC missing some shots, they now know what's going on. It's a great play, ringing around the rosy there, but AYC opening up with the pistol has Austin down. Low HP for Truck Lover, and Truck Lover's gone as well. That defuse coming through in the 1v2.
Oh my god, the USP shot onto Austin, who seemed like he couldn't be stopped there. He was clawing that round back. Slowly but surely, he had 3 kills in the round. That's how he'll finish. But man, what a clutch right there from AYC. Look at this. He whips out this USB. This was his last ditch effort right here. Clean connection onto Austin, and that was required. Otherwise, that round would have been done and dusted.
A little bit out in the open. I think Austin there as well. Probably could have been in a better position, but nonetheless, here we go. 3 AKs along with 2 SMGs. The mollies go through, but they're smoked off with Opening shot for Truck Lover. It's traded back, but it trades for Austin as 2 go his way. He's traded as well. 2 versus 2. 2 AKs now versus the MP9 and the A1S.
Trying to punch in those numbers. Potato Wolf is able to get that job done, but still not going to be an easy workaround here for Central Michigan as the post plants get better and better as they continue to not push the issue too aggressively. Still an MP9 play for Hayon. Long range angle being taken down. It's left MX3 last alive. A player that you would like in this situation. Able to isolate that first fight. Nice. And the lawn frags, but Potato Wolf had that one locked in place there. Ashland move on to 3.
Indeed, Potato Wolf with a nice closer. And yeah, listen, Central Michigan, they found a round out of nothing right there. I mean, they had no business gathering up that AYC with a fantastic clutch, but it's understandable that Ashland were able to pull that back as now it's going to be USPS's 1P250 there on Ethan the Pope.
Yeah, not a fun buy for sure for Central Michigan, but maybe if they can do some damage, it will be a silver lining. That's one of those full reset moments where you really hate to be in this position. We'll see if Austin can continue in his dominance. How diligent is he on the clears? Very much so. One entry in, make it a double. His numbers are skyrocketing. He's already at 12 frags here. We're 5 rounds in, by the way. Oh, this is terrifying if you're Central Michigan.
You're like, dude, what is this guy made of? How am I supposed to, how can I compete? I simply cannot. As Austin, by the way, collecting another MVP. Just not that those matter, but you know.
How many stars he got? It's all about the stars, you know.
Exactly. Who's got a sheriff star? You know, if you're missing one, you can't be a deputy. Sorry about that. Central Michigan. They are in trouble here in the opening couple of rounds, but they now have A1S's plenty. And I will say, very limited utility. Already quite a bit of that gone. 3 smokes still in their hands. But here comes said smokes from Ashland. It's going to be an A execution. Very clean A execute, by the way. Credit where it's due. You know, this often you can see these smokes are missed, and not missed at all. Able to get the very quality plant there for the ramp area. So everything looking good for Ashland.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Clean A executes. I mean, even the mollies that followed up the smokes were super promising. And now here's that lack of utility that might come into play. There's not a single Molotov to try and flush out any of these opposition here. They're just finding all of the frags here. Austin's going to make his name known into the server. And Ethan the Pope. There's just no escape, is there? Not quite. There's a TK, though. Truck Lover. Poor Truck Lover. We've seen him have a rough experience so far in this game, but at the end of the day, all that matters is the score on top of your screen, and that's heavily in favor of Ashland. Yeah,
and well, listen, Truck Lover was a key part of that almost 2v4 too. So, you know, that A1T or AYC, excuse me, brought back, but nonetheless, 5-1. Oh boy, Ashland, they're just committed. They want it. They want to give it to them. And they're going to go for the B-Rush once again. 5 AKs, and nice damage done there by that USPS. Really more than I think you could have ever asked for. But Truck Lover going to find 2. Austin with one of his own. And these dualies are out for a ripping. As looks like Central Michigan is going to go down. Though good damage by Hayon there at the end.
Yeah, not too bad. Dropping a gun. Almost found Austin as well. I will say, I'm just glad that Truck Lover got a couple of kills to his name there, because he deserves some ecos after a rough couple of rounds there.
Yeah,
getting TK'd a little bit of a rough whiff. You know, it's always nice to get some ecos to build up that confidence.
That's right, confidence frags, beautiful stuff. Look at the buy here for Central Michigan. They got 2 AUGs. Not usually going to see those AUGs very often anymore, are you?
Not quite. Pretty expensive, but with max loss bonus in that save in the last is pretty easily afforded upon. Now this is going to be rather problematic. Be old. And I mean, that one crumbled at the seams pretty quickly, didn't it? Immediate dismantle of the 2B players, and already you're seeing the called off here from Central Michigan. They have given the game up, especially the fact that MX3 can't make his way through Catwalk.
Would have been a good rotation. I love that MX3 was so fast on that. He is going to find one, but this is very clearly a save. Considering the time that is ticked away, there's just no real time to come back in if you wanted to. So good exits though. MX3 and Co keeping their guns alive is a really big deal, actually, as every kill matters, and with every player going down, that's a little bit of money lost for Ashland. Now, granted, their buys, their economy is solid, but you don't want to be losing in, any guns that you don't have to.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I will say though, Ashland have built up such an incredible bank right now. They are sitting pretty. Once you enter into a couple of players hitting that 10K mark, which you can see Potato Wolf has, Lawn Frag's getting close to it. It really allows you to string runs together. And on top of that, I haven't seen Ashland be too interested in buying up an op as well. So that's also pretty beneficial. Hey, execute those. How we're going to finish here. And we'll see if Ashland can continue with the clean executes.
Difference from before here is that MX3 and Hayon are both on this site committed. So there's a retake set up before. Oh, that's a big whiff.
Oh.
MX3 probably should have hit that. Gets punished by getting tagged heavily. Hayon with his first. He's got a second. That follow-up is so crucial, and MX3 has come back for more. Potato Wolf and Austin now left two versus four. Now Austin all alone. He's found a trade on towards Stone Cold, but he's 1-on-3, and he's got to find them all.
Not going to be easy whatsoever. Gets the reload off here. He's worried about his flank right now. But bomb could easily be gathered. That's a nice... Oh, I thought that was a smoke for a second. Flashbang deep towards that opera here. Crossing in towards site is going to be a challenge. He knows once jungle. His senses are tingling right now. But that shot reveals his position. And still 40 to work off of right now. He's kind of retreated back in towards a ramp. But not a lot of time to rotate all the way towards B here. So he's going to get on the top of the balcony. And nice clear there from MX3 to shut down the likes of Austin. You need to play confident when you're up against a player like Kim. Can't be playing too scared. Otherwise, he'll be able to isolate some of those duels and things can get out of hand quickly.
Certainly can get that way, but Central Michigan with a good start to solidifying their position, especially off the back. That strong A hold, and they now have plenty of utility to work with. It's a bit of a walk here in apps. Nice nade as well. Not sure what gave that away, because National very quiet initially. Now they've exploded. The flashbangs go out and they're pushing forward. It's a 1-for-1 trade as Austin and Zeusmeister both come up big. These are really strong B pushes that we've seen from Ashland thus far.
Yeah, and a bit problematic that it's just been their go-to when things go wrong over towards A or towards mid. Just rush B. And it seems almost a little too easy. Austin, that frag of the same case. As he collects onto Stone Cold. And looking to save that op here. He's got 13 HP to his name. I don't know if he'll be able to walk away with that one as they are hunting. At least Austin is.
I mean, this is called confident hunting.
Yeah.
This has got a Glock out.
Uh-oh. Oh.
He actually almost found him. Was that a dink? Did he hit him in the head?
I think he hit him, but he had a Glock from a long range. Oh.
Second shot misses its mark, and Zeusmeister to take him out. Central Michigan in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those angles right there, too, that you're just thinking to myself, I should have given myself time to react. Very close. Couldn't find the flick, and it's unfortunate that they couldn't bring the op into this round, but not the end of the world. They can still get a nice investment here. Only Stone Cold onto an SMG, but certainly lacking in the utility department is Central Mich.
We didn't see it. It's fine. It's fine, AYC. No one saw anything.
I guess we're even at the end of the day. Both have had a couple of rough, interesting maneuvers, but so far it is once again just fully cleared out.
This time though through mid. So in fairness, it was a lot different than what we've seen before. Those mid flashes were pretty solid from Ashland, and look, is this Central Michigan going for it? They must know the low HPs.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this would be a little bit more difficult. shot. No, Potato, he's got the high health, and he's taking Stone Cold out. Aeon, now the sole survivor, gonna get out with his life. All three players low, but they're still on the hunt. They want more. Aeon easily able to dispatch the one. Potato Wolf falls, but still, a loss is a loss, and Central Michigan have taken a lot of them lately.
What? How on earth does he find that kill? That is so absurd, the reaction there. He's clearing out a cubby. The adjustment is so fast that he's even able to drop the only available saved rifle from Hayon. Not ideal again. Double digits looking likely here for Ashland University. And I was kind of hyping up Boston here, but I look at the rest of them. We've seen a lot of effective entries on the B bomb site that make Austin's job a lot easier to kind of sit in the backline and close rounds out. And they're back to the B side hit. I can't blame them for this one. Continuously, as a lot of damage is manufactured, but wasn't too high of expectations here. One towards Scott Pillar, Simx3, looking to grab a couple here before he does go down. No one's closing in, but Zeusmeister just holds firm to his position. Eventually to be found out. They're almost an adjustment onto a second. Not to worry here. Stone Cold out of the window. Will get cleared out as well. And that's just a lovely closer made over from Ashland.
That it is. 3 there for Lawn Frag, so really good look. Central Michigan, I mean, I hate to say it, but they've just been, it's just been a failure to start in this game. They have not been able to get going, and it's very much been a whole lot to do with just Ashland playing very fast, playing very loose, and very, very solid Counter-Strike. It's not fancy. It's nothing crazy about it, but they're just doing the easy stuff like trading effectively.
Yeah, it certainly is. And honestly, so much effective entries as well. Speaking of effective entries, Truck Lover good for 1, but Hayon takes 2 right back. Nice position from the Ninja spot, and he's even good for a 3rd. That is unbelievable. Huge performance put through from him. Might even give them a 3rd round on the board, unless Zeusmeister has anything to say about it. Not much else delivered from him. That's a nice hold right there from Hayon in a near impossible situation, able to walk away with 3.
Yeah, Hayon, the sole double-digit player here as well in the frag department for Central Michigan. So you have to say he has been the key player to look at. Now, that being said, any time to get back in this thing is still first half. Now, granted, 10 rounds already down. It's not ideal, especially on your CT side here, but it's always winnable. And so it's just what you got to keep in mind as a Counter-Strike player. You're never out of a game.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It's a real issue here, though, that B conditioning from all of the rushes that have come through have really left at A bomb site lacking there. Truck Lover, that is a crazy headshot right there. He does get found out from Ethan the Pope. Austin's going to find himself a frag with the up, and still Hayon in the under balcony position. So good from him, not even making his presence known just yet. Austin almost gets shot off his perch here. The Potato Wolf gonna grab him instead. Quick trades being manufactured back and forth, and somehow it's all on the back of MX3, positioned in towards CT spawn, able to find that first on Austin. Position revealed. Now as Lawnfrag's trying to punch in those numbers, goes for that catwalk plant here on top of the ticket booth. Is MX3 connects onto the other as well. Nice 1v2 to put CMU onto a 4th round.
A big victory as well. I mean, not to say that 12-3 or 11-4 are unwinnable or by any means, but picking up a couple rounds here at the end of the half is going to be really crucial to 2 things. Number 1, the mentality for Central Michigan as they move forward, and number 2, of course, just the viability of a comeback should it come to fruition.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Still, there's not the best of economy here, so they can get closer and closer. Do a better half here. Back to the B rushes, and again, 3 players stocked over here and try and make sure that they hold that down. MX3 is one of them. He's found his 1 frag so far. Ethan the Pope, the same case. Pistols are out as well. They don't even need it. AYC able to find a couple. And this adjustment to stack 3 towards B has really done a good job of denying those B executes, as Austin trying to work his way around this 1v4. Shouldn't find much else.
Yeah, finally going to get caught out there by Hayon on the catwalk, and was a good adjustment. Good couple of rounds, 3 rounds to be precise. At the end of the half for Central Michigan. But CMU, they're going to have to do a bit more. This is now the less favored side, just on paper. I mean, this is a quite even map. I don't want to oversell things, but Ashland, still, they have a big advantage. And if the pistol comes through in their favor, I have to say Central Michigan might be in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, that's the thing here. It's just been lined up so nicely for a decent half. They've looked so strong. Now they do have to convert it into a good CT side as well. That's going to be of issue. Maybe not.
Okay.
Truck Lover.
Okay.
3 through the smoke as he just spams his full clip. He's on for the ace. Can he find it? No, Potato Wolf.
No,
He's
Potato.
stolen it.
Truck Lover knows. He's like, you've taken away my ace. How dare you?
Oh, that was so impressive. He had that perfectly lined up to just tap. That was 3 through the smoke with a single clip with the USP of all the weapons. I know they don't have head Kevlar, but still, it's unreal.
I mean, it's just a fantastic lineup is what that is. And Austin in mid with an M4A1S. As Truck Lover.
Jump scouting.
Oh, boy. That's
Oh
a
my
touchdown.
God.
Oh, it's huge damage. So much done to 3 out of 4 of the remaining players. And it's a great setup for Austin, who's, well, shooting fish in a barrel here. Stone Cold, the only one left today. And not sure how that was a headshot, but Truck Lover will take it.
He's just, maybe his USP just has some, like, magnetic bullets that just land on people's heads, man.
I was wondering where you were going with that. I was like, let's back it up there, Cole. What are we doing? Indeed, baby.
Listen, if you ever think that he was cheating, we can always go back to that second round with the Deagle.
Oh man, poor guy. He's never gonna live that down.
No,
is he?
he's not.
Oh, that's a fantastic grenade from Austin. A bit of chip damage on the 3 players. That's all you can ask for from an HE.
Yeah, beautiful stuff. And I mean, already with the opening frag as well, to make things even easier for the side of Ashland. Austin, he makes a cat jump and then he moves in through the window. Now smoked off though, so he can't really peek that. That's not an option, but you can tell he's hungry. He wants to continue this advantage that he's brought to his teammates, and so he's going to switch towards connector. This is a really strong off angle, hard to clear, but it is cleared. Hayon seems to be able to best him in a consistent fashion here as they look to make their way into the A-bomb site. They're falling apart. One player on the balcony, Ethan the Pope, even makes his name into the feed here. And they might get a plant off as well. CT spawn being covered. Tags are on and out. Oh my God, so close. The AK from Zeusmeister will find him eventually. And a 2v2 with 2 very low HP bars and an HE for Zeusmeister. That can just land right on the head there. No, but a molly instead. We'll find him either way. And now it leaves Hayon. 1v2 jumping around Zeusmeister. A chance, but he's taken care of. Low on HP. And a missed shot from Truck Lover to put Central Michigan on the first round of the second half.
Yeah, a fantastic find, no doubt about it. But you got to keep in mind that was a bonus. That was Ashland just playing with toy weaponry, and in all honesty, in comparison to what they could have had. So Central Michigan, they're not out of the woods yet. They're certainly on the come up, but Truck Lover, nice jump from window there. I'll be honest, I struggle with that one, and Truck Lover hits it, looking for another. That's a bit greedy, maybe, and he's gonna get away just barely. As catwalk being pushed here by Central Michigan.
Pretty impressive that he was able to walk away from that one. Still alive. Still in that 4v5 is Central Michigan. Opportunity from Ethan the Pope. Not found out just yet. And they still have a super strong presence towards B. If Central Michigan were to walk up that catwalk, long term be very problematic here. They might have just changed their ideas. They're spreading themselves throughout the map on the CT side here. You can see that the app of Truck Rollover, he's rotated off, and it leaves only 2 now on this B side of things.
This jump peak's crucial. Needs to make sure to get a whiff of this early, and he does. On frags, be pulling that information over. Zeusmeister with that opening. IC falls. Oh, they're clever with another. Aeon gonna be able to trade one back and make it a double. Aeon, and he's just consistently so good as Ethan the Pope comes in and helps out. It's Austin with a return fire, but it's 1v2. Aeon gonna need the quad to win this one.
Yeah, you want this man in this position here, 1v2, but oh, Austin. This time he's able to best him. Nice attempt there from Hayon. Honestly, a huge delivery from him to grab those couple of kills and get the numbers punched in to get an extra chunk of change, but it's not going to be the greatest of economy coming up in this next one. They're going to be struggling in terms of the buys that they can bring out if they want to go for the investment. So Ashland can move closer and closer to closing out this map. Granted, their map pick, but if it's going to be this dominant, still, it's going to show some worrying signs.
By the way, we're at round 20, and Austin has 27
Oh
frags.
my god.
Yeah,
Absolutely
he
absurd.
snuck up in there, didn't he? He forgot, and then is like, 27. It's a force buy here for Central Michigan. And an interesting decision, all things considered as well. Because if they lose this round, that's 14. And essentially, unless they're going to save in towards map point, I mean, I'm assuming they're force buying here. They're going to force buy that as well.
Oof, Dark Lover. No flashbang heading his way so far, so might be in for a world of hurt. Tech9's a close range. Oh, he thought there was a flashbang coming, never did. Pushing through the smoke there. Austin is going to hold the line for one. Somehow, Potato Wolf walks away with the kill as well as he's able to spam the box. But a 3v3 with sight control as well. And Austin spams straight through the smoke. Gets one back on the Hayon as well, but it still leaves him into a 2v2 post plant. A massive advantage for Central Michigan to work around.
Oh, but the Molly. There's a Molly there for the CT side. Oh, but it's perfectly placed, but MX3 still has the shot, and he's got the double! MX3 with a big clutch for the second time.
Oh my god. And more chances. I mean, that was a risky force buy, like you mentioned. They put all their eggs in that basket. Luckily, none of them cracked. All is well. On the side of Central Michigan University, is still a long road ahead. There's still a big gap in between these two score lines, and there's a lot of factors that can quickly allow for the closer from Ashland. One of them being Austin here as he gets a couple of deagle shots off towards mid, but no connections.
This is certainly the right start to a comeback. This isn't, I mean, look, it's 7-13. There's 6 rounds between these two. That's certainly not monumental. It's definitely doable. Central Michigan in control. That's a good shot by Zeus Meister. Give him another one.
Oh,
Nearly
wow.
on for the third. He's got the dink there onto Ethan the Pope, who has 2 of his own. Now this starting to look a little bit dicey, I think, as the player comes through the smoke. That's Austin. Tried to make a play, but unfortunately he's unaware. Stone cold in the corner.
A huge pickup from him. Still a 2v3 with one very low HP bar. Seems a little bit undoable. AYC proving it. And Stone Cold with a nice connection onto the head of Potato Wolf. That was a full force buy. And while it did show some signs of life, not enough to close out the round as CMU. They're kind of getting closer and closer. A bit of distance in between them still, but now we get that gap down to 5, and it should be 4 coming up because only a little bit invested, although Austin, of course, going for the scout here.
Indeed. A good look for CMU for now. But like you said, that score line, I think it's a deceptively large gap because realistically this is not that undoable. And Austin, oh, he's gonna take a tag. Stone Cold. Don't slow peek Austin like that. I'll give you a tag any day of the week. I'll tell you what.
That's exactly right. He's going to be put on notice, but I don't think too much of his teammates can do the damage here. Lawn frags, they're all sneaking up towards Catwalk and Austin, down to very low HP. The most that he can do is try and fight his way out of the situation. Brute force, he even lands another tag, but it's only a bit of damage. Couldn't connect for a kill just yet, so.
Oh,
Uh-oh. Okay.
Stone Cold. That's tough, mate.
That fire's pretty
Yeah.
hot, though.
Yeah. In the Pope as well, involved. Nice flashbang. Let's say Ethan the Pope has been one of the crucial parts of this second half that have gotten Central Michigan going. You know, first half was kind of the Hay-On show. And MX3 and Ethan the Pope have really showed up as well on the back end of this, I think.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think that Ethan the Pope has been very effective in terms of closing out some of these rounds. And this one is going to be a USP saved. Now, you get a little bit of bonus money if you let the bomb go off. And so saving a USP, I just never think is worth it. I understand if you're trying to find some exits, that makes a little bit of sense. But it is always a bit of a head scratcher when they let that extra economy go their way. But we got a timeout this time called for the T side here. Central Michigan trying to find an answer to continue some of the success. They've actually found it. They just need to keep it going against these weapon rounds. And, you know, it has been mostly clutches that Central Michigan have been able to win to get them this far in terms of the gun rounds. But maybe trying to clean those up so that they can have a clean round rather than, you know, a 1v1 victory, 1v2 victory can certainly bode some confidence in their way.
You know, they could also just be trying to ice Ashland here. You know?
Very true.
I don't know. Just throwing it out there. A1S's abound. Austin only with a scout. Feel like you want to put the better weaponry in his hands, but understandably, playing for the team, and especially considering he 4-spot last round, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. But nonetheless, it's 13-9. This gap considerably closed. Big round for Michigan, considering that this will be a save for Ashland should they lose it.
Smoke comes in a little too late here. Potato Wolf trying to play around that CT side smoke, but he can really make some punishment happen. Zeus Meister able to find the first. Truck Lover goes down there, but yeah, that's the Potato Wolf damage that he can do on top of the CT smoke miss. That's a huge blunder and such an important round. Central Michigan, they need to work around this 2v. Well, now 1v4 is AYC.
Oof.
There's just no getting out of this position. No chance that you can really work around it. Potato Wolf finds a closer. That was all off the back of a CT side smoke miss. Oh,
and if you recall back to the prior half where Ashland did a really solid execute over at A, I mentioned that. I said, often you see a one miss smoke. It's kind of disappointing, but it's sort of rare that you see perfect executions. And this is what I was talking about. This is why that is so important. Getting those smokes correct, particularly the CT one.
Oh, yeah, and that's one of the most important right there. You can see how easy it was for Potato Wolf to fire down range without really taking too much flack. Just free kills lined up because I'm sure they weren't expecting that to be a position where they could get shot from that easily. Nice scout tag as well from Truck Lover. On to Ethan the Pope, a heavy hitter in the second half here. And Austin finishes a job on the Hay-On. Gets out of connector just barely. Oh my god.
That was... imagine if that hit. That would have been nasty. Doesn't quite hit its mark, but the idea's there. HE grenade, only a little bit of chip damage there on a Stone Cold. Not too shabby. Central Michigan down by 1, but not out yet. Ashland, though, this is key for them because one more round and they're sitting at 15. That's really where things are gonna get dicey. That smoke in towards connector means that it's going to be a B push. Both players here. Zeus Meister 2 tapping it at heads. Able to connect on 1. Frags is in position, but he's not gonna find success just yet. But Truck Lover as the scout, he's hit the shot. It's MX3 yellow alone.
Oh. And I mean, MX3, not much of a chance that you can win this, if not any chance. And the issue is that he can't even get a bomb plant or anything along those lines. So likely is going to be some really tough economy to work around for Central Michigan in this next round. And
I think he has to try something here, right?
Yeah. Through the smoke. Not sure of where his opposition is, and he will go down. You can see now at the end of that round, 15 for Ashland. And this is that disaster scenario that we so often talk about where you're up against match point and you have to force fight Mac-10s, Tech-9s, Galeals, the likes, and with limited utility as well. Not ideal, to say the least.
I will say, 3 AKs is far better than I had anticipated.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, the other 2 are a Deagle and a Tech-9, but we've seen those work very, very effectively. So, CMU, they're not entirely out. Certainly down pretty bad. As
Oh,
Ashland, they've got 3 AKs to work with as well. Up connector for CMU. This one player is, and Potato Wolf has an idea. Austin as well, rotating in to try and
oh my
defend.
God. Dark Lover. Hello. Oh.
Oh,
Oh no, that is a disaster. And you're exactly right. Some of those damage with the Tech 9s and Deals can roll off as well. They've got themselves into a 5v3. They're in winning position here. As Ashland might have just gotten a little ahead of themselves in terms of trying to close this one out. Execute rolling on off here. There's still a player tucked in connectors. Zeusmeister has to be careful about how he rotates around that part of the map. MX3 causing some chaos here as the plant roll on off. The defender and Stone Cold with 5 HP avoids all of the bullets from Potato Wolf, and it's a 1v4 for Lawnfrags. He's already given it up.
understandable, all things considered. The money's strong enough, I think, to get a buy-in next round for Ashland if they save this AK, but without it, it's going to be a bit rougher. I think Zeusmeister would be without a weapon, so makes sense. But Central Michigan able to pull it back in the crucial moment. And on top of that, they're going to stay 4 alive here, which means, well, with, of course, the bomb planted and everything else, they're going to be rolling in cash come next round. But there's still a 5-round deficit. As they hit double digits, it's not perfect.
Yeah, I mean, you're not feeling too comfortable in this comeback, especially with the fact that you haven't been able to string too many rounds together. You've shown some promise, sure, but eventually, most of these gun rounds have handily gone Ashland's way here. There's more mid-aggression coming on through. Oh, that's a big gap. I think that molly thrown from Austin was designed for this initial peak here. Mid-aggression coming in as well with the FAMAS. FAMAS finds the first, and if there's ever a trade to come through, Austin has the cover. But instead, the retreat and the happiness with the 4v5 is what Ashland will take.
Yeah, Ashland, loving that. No problem whatsoever. Is that Molly gonna stall things out there? Lawnfrog's getting the information. UIC pushing forward. First frag goes towards Lawnfrogs. Is Austin there for trading purposes? Zeusmeister as well. 1 versus 3, and it's all over. Central Michigan, nice attempt at the comeback, but Ashland taking that in a 16-10 fashion really shows what they had to offer on their own map pick.
Yeah, it definitely does. And honestly, a couple of those rounds towards the tail end from CMU were not necessarily just random, but they were those, closing rounds where you're Ashland, you kind of know you've already won the game. You just eventually have to find that last 16th, and that can be hard to do, but in Ashland's case, they just found it before Central Michigan could really pull off too much of a crazy comeback. And yeah, again, I think it's a credit to the fact that they're very comfortable. They look very strong on Mirage.
Yeah, no doubt about that. That one, you know what? I want to also mention though here, for Central Michigan, 2 players in particular. Their MX3, huge clutch potential. Really showed that off. I think 3-4 clutches over the course of that game. And then of course Hayon as well really had a fantastic showing. Hopefully they can turn things around. But we're headed into Overpass next. That's going to be CMU's pick, but that will be after this short break. We'll see you then. Don't go far.
All right.
Alrighty, folks, welcome back. We're actually already getting straight into the gameplay as we've been moving quickly this evening. Ashland and Central Michigan, with, of course, Ashland up by 1 there, courtesy of the victory on Mirage. Myself, Vincent, alongside of Cole, or extra 20. And, well, Cole, I'm ready for this one. I think that Ashland could close it here, but CMU have their map pick.
Yeah, I think that as well here, and that has to be a comforting factor for CMU. Otherwise, you're exactly right. Ashland could steamroll things. Austin, prime opportunity, spots one out of connector. That's going to trigger a very fast-paced play here. And does Austin have enough time to rotate? Oh, he gets around the corner just in time. Able to find safety in that long position now is where he's going to head, but giving up control of that A. In fact, full control given over.
Yeah, and they're not really pushing Austin right now. He's taking a frag of his own, and he's looking for more. This retake position going to be deadly if they don't get rid of him soon. And in fact, it is. Push coming through. One for Truck Glover, and Austin has another. Potato Wolf getting involved. AYC, he was trying to dislodge Austin, but he's too far too late.
Whoa.
Knife out, not the right time, and that's all done and dusted as Ashland pick up the pistol.
And I mean, what an incredible, flawless retake right there from Ashland. I think part of that was Austin playing that one really well, and the rest of their team not jumping the gun on that retake. Everyone kind of holding in their positions. Austin retreating very far back towards long, finding that initial kill that sparked that kind of retake momentum that Ashland really much needed. And so now it's going to be that full investment on the second round with the bomb plant from the T side. We'll see if they're able to work around this.
This is a very poor investment, though, all things considered. I mean, you know, you got me convinced with the Galeals, but, well, the Mac 10s, I guess they're doing work. Truck Lover does go down. Austin trading. And should be, I think if a Moss was gathered, yes, MX3 got that. So a little bit better weaponry now.
Austin's looking for more, though. Oh, the timing there. AYC lucky to walk away from that without taking too much damage. I mean, they're still deciding on where exactly they want to hit. And the 4v4 with the minute left to work with, it's not a bad position to be in. You can really work this clock a little bit. But Zeus might just press the issue towards long. And that could be problematic here. Stone Cold somehow gets that smoke off. One player towards barrel still. And Potato Wolf, there's a wonderful crossfire, but both players go down. In a really good position for CMU to close this one out.
Yeah, but Austin's still alive. It's a 2 versus 3. Nice spray there by Zeus Meister. Not sure why it was a fallback there from MX3. Probably should have looked for the trade, but nonetheless, 2v2 now. Much more winnable scenario. There's no kit, though, and I'm not sure if one was dropped. So this could be a difficult one as they got to get this moving quickly. One player tapping on that bomb. Gonna have to actually stick things. It's Austin who takes the frags, and they're not sticking it.
Stick it.
Oh, they have a kit. They've picked one up, but this is still awful close. I don't know. Nope. No, it's not going to happen. Miscommunication. That's the problem. As Ashland, they should have had the round, but they couldn't figure it out.
That is absurd right there. As close as it gets. There's about a half a second left on that defuse. But not meant to be for Ashland. So a nice response. CMU, they scrape by with their first round overpass. And now it's going to leave Ashland in a very difficult situation economically. You can see Deagles are out in play. Good smoke in, but Haon's already passed that. He's even retreated, so that smoke pretty much gone for not a lot of value.
Nicely looked. There's Ashland. I mean, they have this force buy, right? But, it seems like it'd be so difficult to contend with, especially considering the AK-47s on the other hand for CMU. But nonetheless, as push forward, it's good control for CMU thus far. Ooh, AYC nearly able to find one, but it was Truck Lover there who was like, yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I think the real issue here is that they're in the 4v5, and that's created a lot of hesitation and the map control that they take. No one wants to be the next man to die. No one wants to be the next piece of the puzzle here for Ashland to close out. And that's a great timed smoke right there towards Catwalk. That's going to buy a good bit of time. They're going to either be forced to push through that and walk into this B-side, stack 3 players, including one of the rifles being there as well. Could be juicy. Shadow advantage there for Potato Wolf, and there goes the frags. A flurry for the CT side in play. Here's 2 left remaining. Still one towards the back of the site. The rifle might not ever be required. The rifle isn't even getting his full value. Instead, from the side, Truckle over closes, and it's all of the pistols to get the job done. And so there's a quick answer back for Ashland.
Yeah, and I mean, it just feels like they walked into that one to CMU, the close angles and everything. They kind of got spooked away from that A side with AYC when he saw that player. Wasn't quite sure if there was like a stack in towards this area, but just doesn't work out. And Ashland take advantage in style. Austin's a big fan of this scout right now, and it's I don't know that it's been like the most successful weapon for him, to be fair, but it certainly can be deadly.
You know, I definitely like him on the rifles more often than not, but still get some damage done. There's armor, of course, so it's not going to be that one-shot body shot kills that you would hope for. So most of the heavy lifting on this A-side defense needs to come from Truck Lover, and this is a very awkward angle here. He's going to be spotted out. He's able to walk away with 1. Oh my goodness, what a spray transfer from him. Getting away with 2. That was so very clean here. And running out of ammo, but he's still able to find another before he gets taken care of here. Now the scout's trying to come in play. Reload on the AK has to come through before he can finally use the AYC. And Hayon left last alive, and not in a pretty situation either.
Oh my goodness, Austin, he's just made a beeline for the bathroom as he's immediately looking for the flank. A little bit ridiculous, but it's fine. He's actually nested himself, I think, in connector, if I'm not mistaken, based on the map.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's gonna have some fun here, and if they come back connector, he can grab himself an AK. Instead, they're going towards Sands. That'll trigger his aggression through connector, and so it might be off of the scout here soon. Doesn't find it just yet. Oh, he's on the retreat. Can't find the AK player of Hayon here. Instead, that will be Zeus Meister to clean up. Actually, lawn frags. We'll see if he can grab that. Oh, does he get it? Yes, he does. That's huge.
Some fantastic movement there at the end, too, by Lawn Frags. This is
So
right here.
clean.
Yeah. I mean, in the movement, too, right? Like, you don't tend to see consistent spray there with a movement like that, but yeah, really on point. Gotta be impressed. And it's 3-1. Central Michigan are down pretty much entirely with this one. They have to save 5 Glocks, or actually 4 Glocks, 1 Deagle. That's Hayon who has that. Who's got a little bit of less cash now in his hand. There's going to be the straight A rush off the back of it. Austin has the AK this time. We'll see what he can do with it.
Yeah, how many can he collect here as they walk up one at a time? Here, spray's good. 4 kills in the round. They're feeding him at this point, and that's that's just such a big problem here. It makes me worry, because if you get him confident after an already confident first map, it's just not going to bode well. He's going to be constantly shutting you down. He's already got an AK in his hands.
He's trying to kill himself.
He can't do that, no. He hasn't taken any damage somehow. Those were some pretty big jumps, too.
You had to jump up from the very top there.
You can't get the ace. That's what he's trying to do.
He's going to the surefire damage spot. No.
Oh, okay. I thought so as well.
I was convinced, but no. MX3. He's just running around having a good time. He needs to die here. He needs to get the money in. Well, he will eventually.
What on earth was that? He just went entirely around the map. I don't even know what I just saw. Either way, he goes down, and our rifles are out. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what the strategy was, but it was the strategy.
There's some thought to it, I imagine.
Yeah. 5 AKs for Central Michigan. And 2 for Ashland. Is Hayon going to get some connect control? Nobody actually met. Clover Oh, that's a fantastic win there by Ethan the Pope as he finds Truck Lover. That's an opening that we've yet to see. Ashland have really found these opening frags typically, and now Central Michigan on the board.
Oh, and Austin taken down to 11 HP as well. That's very, very valuable here. Zeusmeister is he diligent about clearing out this corner. That's going to be a hard one to check. Nice off angle there from Stone Cold. Even does so much damage to lone frags. Nice response to find that trade, but it's still 2 very low HP bars. Might be Austin overextending his welcome around the Sands position. He'll go down, leaving it into a 2v4. Couple low HP bars, but still, it shouldn't be very workable for Ashland to close this one out.
Certainly would be a crazy clutch. And whew, nice shot there by MX3. Leaves Potato Wolf, FAMAS in hand, Dreams alone. And I don't know if he's going to go for this. I think you save here, but there's plenty of cash in the bank for Ashland, so maybe he's trying to get in, a kill or two on the exit. Regardless, he's going to go save now and fight another day.
There's an AK over towards Sands if he wants to go and grab that as well. I think he's heading that way. There you are. Nice little weapon upgrade. And so, yeah, you're right. Money's pretty stacked for Ashland, but it's a nice response. CMU is certainly needed as well. You talked about the opening frag success heavily being in favor of Ashland, and I think it helps a lot when that's not the case, when you're not trying to execute 4v5. It can be a real game changer. In this case, it actually queued up a couple of mistakes and re-aggressions from Ashland that CMU were able to punish.
Yeah, I think that's one of the times where confidence is actually a detriment. Ashland, they've been so used to winning these duels that they got aggressive and they lost them in that case. And this is outrageous from Truck Clever. Are you kidding me? Just so fast. Zeusmeister gonna win the duel as well there in water, but I cannot believe he just ran through that smoke with his knife out.
On here, Austin clears out one towards long, but it's a quick trade here, and there's no one to meet this. May execute, so MX3 will have full control of the site for quite some time before the CT side can ever make their way closer and closer. Bank plant, I think, is rather questionable, but they are able to punch in the numbers nonetheless. Issue is now they're not going to have the greatest of post plants because of the lack of control towards jump up, and that trade means everything right there. AYC soon to fall after. Nice attempt at the clutch. It was good damage, but not quite the round, and Ashland back to winning ways here on the CT side.
Yeah, I mean, there's two things to note here. Number one, obviously, Ashland back in towards the victories and really solidifying their economy. The other thing to note, though, is that Central Michigan, they got the bomb planted. So it means they got to have some weaponry, and it's a really good buy. They have pretty much everything, lacking maybe a bit of utility, but ultimately it's 4 AKs and one Galil. So I think they're going to be liking things the way they are. Austin was maybe looking for something aggressive, but he gets flashed away, and I'm going to be looking for it once again. Had was nearly deadly shot there by Stone Cold, but not going to go through as he just spotted the head of the CT as he fell back.
More attempts at damage here. Nothing connecting that up. Shot a rare miss from Austin there. Looks to be a B-side finish. Bomb's kind of heading back towards A, so I'm really not too sure at the moment what exactly the plans are set in stone here. Lawn frags, I don't know if he gathered any information there, but went for the jump peak there. That's certainly a lot of noise being made with the spam and the flashbang, and triggers 2 mollies out of the CT side bank, so a little less utility in the back pockets of Ashland. I think an eventual A side take will come on through. They're heading back into Austin. AWP.
Yeah, his waiting arms. Deadly they are. That said, it's a bit slow. All things considered. It's 35 seconds on the clock here, Cole.
Yeah.
Central Michigan, they need to pick up the pace a bit. So this take is coming through. Can't tell if it's a fake just yet. There's
Gotta be. Bombs and connector, there's still 3 in water.
Yeah, no, it's 100% a fake. You're right. But still, This is so late, and there's still 3 players here. They haven't bit at all, have Ashland, and the frags go their way. It's Zeusmeister with 2. He's traded, but it's all over. 10 seconds on the clock, and there's no time to plant. Austin going to shut down Hang On as he tries to push forward. MX3 left to save his AK and try once more in the next round.
That was an interesting attempt right there. I think that a lot of it was clock issues. A lot of it was just not having any nades for the B execute as well. You can throw all of the faking grenades that you want, but it won't matter too much if you don't have any B-side nades that help you clear out some of those positions.
Well, I mean, even if you just didn't, have a clear, Ashley didn't actually bite on the fake,
yeah.
mostly because it was a little bit half-hearted. It was one smoke and a little bit of noise. That was really it. So, Austin taking some shots and hitting 2 of them. In fact, both on Ethan the Pope. He's having a bit of a rough one here, I think. Dark Lover. Bit of a rough spray there. Hang on. I'm going to connect on towards the deal spam and collecting the AK from him. That's 2 now AKs in hand, along with UMP.
I mean, if you're Hayon, you don't really want to peek around that corner. I think they jump spotted him, so they're not going to peek into Austin's op any longer. So now it really puts a lot of pressure on Zeusmeister. They've rotated everyone towards A. It's all a bit of a misread here. Zeusmeister needs to get a couple of kills if he wants a chance here. No flashbangs to help out on this attack. It's all going to be just trades here. The numbers game at the moment for CMU. The door gets swung open, and it is a great 1-for-1. That's huge. It's going to trigger some fast rotates, but they'll be too late. Execution already being made in towards B. Or maybe not.
You say too late. Austin is there and ready, and so is Lawn Frags. On the side is MX3, and the plant's going down, but he's the only one left alive. The first of those trying to hit it is Lawn Frags, and he does. MX3, despite the low HP there on Lawn Frags, unable to connect, so really well done by Ashland. I think that could have gone a lot worse.
Yeah, I was certainly worried with the over-rotation towards A, but I think that the nice adjustment from Austin to fast move to watch that catwalk really helped out. And then on top of that, Lawn Frag's lovely closer delivered from him. It's still that bomb plant. That's a pretty decent buy in this one. So there's more opportunities here for CMU to gather up some steam here in their first half. But Overpass is kind of giving me the same sort of vibes as Mirage, where it's just a nice lockdown half. This time on the CG side, but still Ashland doing so well at keeping these rounds consistent.
Yeah, it's a Man of War. That's a old classic right there.
Yeah.
You don't see many of those anymore, do you?
Not really, no.
Well, that though, it's a fantastic skin. Austin, fantastic shot. You go with his skin as found another opening pick towards Ashland, and that's kind of what I was talking about there, Cole. Ashland just consistently able to find opening frags. They've continued to do it, and they've done it again.
Yeah, Austin with the op here on A. One of the most important roles to play. And Truck Lover, he's been pretty effective towards long. It hasn't been too crazy of a unified setup between those 2 players, but they always seem to work off each other's positions and picks to find continued success. And that round is real evidence of that. You can see that the opper of MX3, he was trying for some control towards Sands to gain that and try and find that trade onto Austin, but instead just gets sidelined from Truck Lover.
Indeed. And, on top of that, it's been individual plays. There's another one. Truck Lover with his third as he lines up 2 for 1. He's going back for more, and he's got it. The line is bad, but he's still got the frags. It's quad kill there. Truck Lover certainly loving live 8-2. And here he is once again showing his stuff.
Look at that. Just couldn't have asked for a better lineup there. Helped out from Austin's damage. Look at this last bullet as well. Oh, so close to getting punished for that whiff spray, but he doesn't. He walks away a happy man. 4K in the round. A's on lockdown, so maybe B's an option here. At least they're trying to gather some control on this default towards connector. Allows for those easy rotates. Truck Lover somehow is over towards water this time. Turns around for some good damage. Instead, he takes all of that instead. He'll go down.
Touchdown from Zeusmeister. And Lon Frogs has found some information. Take some damage for said information, though. Leon going to throw the AK over. Or rather, sorry. Leon going to receive the AK over from, I think, MX3. Molly, well timed. At least for now, going to stall this push. It allows time for any additional rotations. But there's still 3 players here at B. And 1 player actually full committed towards A. So I think Central Michigan, it's all about trying to find these shots. And X3 cannot quite look for one there.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problematic thing is you can kind of be comforting and the fact that you can stack 3 players over because the fact that Austin's locked down A with the AWP so many times that you can trust him in that role. Bombs down in the control of the CTs at the moment, so CMU are fighting their way to this position. Boost says hello, greeted from Austin, so that reveals AYC's position. 25 on the clock here, and I mean, it's only a matter of time before this one moves to dial 9 here for Ashland, and Lawn Frags takes it instead.
You know, it's just got to be so frustrating if you're CMU, right? You go for a crazy boost that you almost would never usually see, you know, on short there. And Austin's just waiting for you. Just staring you down the barrel of an AWP and immediately takes it out. No questions asked, but here's another buy. And nasty shot. Good, unfortunate flash assist there. AYC actually the one to do the flashing. Not sure how blinded the player was though, but MX3 down. Shot missed and Truck Lover. Truck Lover always good for one. And you talked about how they're so consistent. It's sort of a push and a pull, a tide, if you will. And one goes back, the other goes forward.
Yeah, it's gotta be frustrating. Oh, nice reaction there from Hayon. How much else can that be delivered here? Zeusmeister now smoked off the line. Gets more damage down range. Spray transfer onto the second AYC. Dead as well. Double digits hit from Ashland University as they continuously lock down that A bomb site. But yeah, I mean, you couldn't have said it any better. It's like a tide rake now where you're so scared about the op of Austin that you can't even worry about Truck. That's not even your thought in your mind, and you can tell that he just is able to consistently abuse that.
Indeed, and I mean, this is just starting to get a little bit out of control here. And I'm not sure where the molly went. MX3 jumping away with this no problem whatsoever. It does not hit anything, but it was well placed. And if you just look at the money, I mean, Lawnfrax has 16K. 16K on the CT side. I feel like that's unheard of in modern Counter-Strike.
It is. There's just it's such an absurdity to consistently win. That's kind of evident of the fact that not a lot of bomb plants, not a lot of close rounds have been delivered from CMU. It's mostly been just utter lockdowns from Ashland University here. Austin's got to be careful about his long position. No one's quite covering that, and he just adjusts in time, finds the frag there, and so they're on pace for another flawless round here, Ashland. Austin looking for some connections, but already in such a good position there. MX3, nice headshot onto one, but all in all, Hayon, not much you can do here other than try for damage. He gets peeked from Austin. He's on that 20 kill and a half mode once again.
Yeah, just a little bit. It's been the Austin show a little bit here and there, but I gotta be honest with you, it's really not just the Austin show.
Yeah,
we've seen some fantastic play from Truck Lover. You and I have been talking about that quite a bit, but Zeusmeister always good for a double. Same for Lawn Frax and Potato Wolf. It just actually hasn't been asked much of, really. He's not that he's fallen short, it's just not been needed.
Yeah, I mean,
what
exactly
do
right.
you mean?
Oh my god, auto shotty from Truck Lover. That is so punishing. It's got to be so brutal. Austin's taken down though, and honestly, he'll take a nice and comfortable A-side plant. Lawn Frag somehow finds that frag before he gets taken down. Truck Lover on the fast flank. He only has an auto shotty to his name, but he's got a deagle as his sidearm, so he can work those long-range angles here. One close by, he gets that auto shotty back out. He's heard the footsteps. AYC. He is able to punish him here. The Zeusmeister should be taken down if he pushes that smoke, and he does. Potato Wolf locks alive here. A chance in the 1v2 as they're giving fights, isolated duels here. But eventually, I think they'll just kind of hide things, tuck in corners, play the post plants to perfection. AYC knows he's not on the bomb. There's a spam damage to scare him off, but AYC's just running away, playing this post plant to perfection. The CMU take 3.
Yeah, Potato Wolf, I don't think he had any intention of actually really going for it there, but Mixley falls to the bomb for no real reason. I don't know about that one. It's just an extra gun to buy, and I mean, listen, the money's not perfect. That would have been, I mean, that's the real utility that could have been had, but not going to be there because of that death.
Truck Lover doing the slightest amount of trolling in this round here. We had the auto shotty last time. Now we got the M249. Oh boy.
It's a legitimate weapon, trust me. I'm, you know, come on. I can't believe that you would say that's not a legitimate weapon, Cole.
I'm so sorry. It is the most expensive weapon, so therefore it is the best weapon.
Yes. It's oh boy,
Oh,
Austin.
no.
Give him the L2 for 1 deal. He'll take it to the lateral to go. And it might be to go as the half nearly over. Nice grenade doing some damage as the M249 rings true. Truck Lover and Austin with a few.
Oh my god. Absolutely absurd right there. At the very least, the M249 was able to get 1 kill, but I really feel like Austin stole a lot of Truck Lover's kills in that round.
True. I mean, starting with this, that was fantastic stuff.
See, look at that. Look how perfect that would have been. And look at Austin. How rude of him to steal those 2 kills.
And that one too?
Unreal.
That was really the ace for the M249 on Truck Lover. But, you know, it was a quad stolen away by Austin. I can't even say that with a straight face.
he's stole his quad away.
Yeah. Ashland, though, 12-3. Need I say more about that half other than that scoreline? It's a long push here. I really like this long push on the pistol round. Often you'll find it empty, and indeed it was. Only 1 player on the site, and he was quickly dispatched.
And that was just a jump spotting poor player there. Austin collects himself a second here. It still found out a couple of answers back. Austin sliding line as well. Longfrax has to be careful about his position towards Truck. Here's Ethan the Pope taken care of. 1v3 for Truck Lover. Bomb's not planted for him as well, so he's going to have to fight his way into the situation. Got an opportunity here. Top shots with the Glock. Eventual closing of the distance from Ethan the Pope to find that. And, well, it's going to be a victory here for CMU. They get the critical pistol round, but it's still a bomb plant for Ashland, which is the worrying thing.
Yeah, and I gotta say, as you know, no disrespect to CMU, they picked up what they're given, right? But Ashland getting a bit far ahead of themselves there, not really playing for the post plant, kind of just playing for frags, and they lost the fights. So Ashland giving CMU an opportunity where one may not have existed before. Speaking of an opportunity, this is one for Ashland. 5 Galils.
Yep, here's the buy that we saw CMU kind of go for, but it was just so much less firepower. It was like more Mac 10s than it was Galils, which was kind of something you mentioned. In this case, it's actually going to be a firepower increase, not necessarily utility, but certainly more firepower in this roster. That flash didn't quite make it over the wall there, but
it's a good idea.
Gonna scale off the distance here. Lining up. Oh, it's a team kill in. So at the very least, you're going to walk away with a lot of damage here. And Heion is going to find himself one as well. 2v3 to work off of here as Austin tries to continue to fight his way out of this situation. Bomb plant coming through from Truck Lover. You do got the dynamic A duo, but one has fallen here. Austin in the 1v3. The man you want in this position finds the first. Going to look for these isolated duels onto the second. Heion on the flank here. It all comes down to this fight. And Austin, he's won it, putting it into the 1v1. MX3 has now got himself on the top of heaven here, fully committed to this angle. You can see he's got no chance to miss, and he has Austin. Of course, he's going to gather that 1v3, man. He cannot be stopped. That's his 28th kill. Unbelievable.
This man is just outrageous as he picks it up. And you said it at the very beginning there. Who would you want in that clutch scenario? It is Austin, no doubt. As Ashland pick up round 13. As the other problem for CMU is now that with the CT side, they don't have the forgiving economy that they did before. And well, they were only able to pick up 3 rounds. That's what's so frustrating. It's so Ashland, this is really a moment for them where they can start to run away with this thing as for MX3 clotheslined pretty quickly.
A clean shot hit from Truck Lover, and it's only going to be more and more stark here for the CT side as they try and recover long control here. AYC looking to take some fights, but it's a slow crawl up the long side of things and the A side of things is in entirety. They try and gather some bomb site here. AYC is still kind of on an island. I think he has a teammate close by there. Yeah, they'll double up in truck. The long distance from these rifles can certainly help out in terms of a defense. Leave it faked.
No. What a giveaway. Central Michigan, that's unfortunate. I don't know how that call was made, but it was, and Austin can trade using the poke. And nice find by Stone Cold.
Oh,
Turned on someone,
yeah.
but nonetheless, it's a 14th for Ashland, and if you look at the money, it's pretty brutal.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting to the ending stages, in my opinion, here. CMU are in that situation where they're stuck on a force by every round, and you're just not going to win if you only have MP9s versus an already strong Ashland and already, you know, increased firepower and weaponry Ashland as well. 5 towards long, and the unfortunate call here is that Ashland are just going to walk out the B-tons. Perfect counter. They're going to slip right past each other, a little roll reversal. But Ashland should be taking 15 off of this one.
Indeed, they should. I mean, they'd have to give away such a big advantage here in the post plant, especially considering it's just MP9s and Deagles and one scout. But here we go. Here's the push. CMU. Their dreams are born and die, and right now they're dead. Dead as a doornail. Central Michigan, unfortunately, looking like they're going to be gone and out of this one.
Yeah, Truck Lover delivering that final kill there. MX3 attempted some spam through the catwalk, but not quite meant to be here. Ashland looking to close this one. This was, I mean, surprisingly enough, even more dominant than Mirage was, and I think it was a real testament to how good that A side hold was. Every time they tried to head that way,
Yeah.
Truck Lover alongside Austin, that duo just never allowed for them to head into that A bomb site with an advantage. It was always just a hard fought fight right there, but what a clothesline onto Zeusmeister. That was so pretty.
I actually want to add on to that and say that I think it's also a testament to the clutch factor that MX3 showcased over on Mirage, and of course Hayon having a really good game too. So nonetheless, we'll talk more about that in what will be most likely post game soon. Potato Wolf with the frag Austin coming up with another. MX3 close range, can't make magic happen again. It's a PP Bison, and it's got to kill.
Let's go.
Oh man, I love this gun sometimes. It's so fun to play with, but unfortunately not so great to utilize. That's going to be Ashland with a dominant victory here in map 2 of the series. Listen, Ashland showed off their strengths. Austin showed off his strengths, but it wasn't just Austin. It was everyone actually making a lot of key plays, a lot of key double kills. We're taking a look at some of these plays as well. This one in particular, their Truck Lover, I mean, he made some real big moves.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it was back-to-back 30 bombs from Austin, and that already puts you in a winning position if you're Ashland. But then everyone else stepping up to the plate, Truck Lover having a lot of impact on overpass and defense, coupled with Austin, it really didn't help out CMU's chances in trying to close that one out. And then, I mean, to be fair, the B players, when they did go B, were super locked out. It just didn't happen too much. CMU never really attempted that site. It was only 1 or 2 rounds that got swiftly handed a defeat. And again, I think it's a real testament to limited options from CMU. B was so locked down that they tried A, but A never worked either.
Yeah, I mean that's the struggle, the
Mhm.
the infinite difficulty
Yeah.
of trying to play against what is a really good group of players, and
Mhm.
I think that CMU probably felt as if it didn't matter where they went, they were met with a very strong opposition. But I want to go back to a point I was making just a moment ago, before we got towards the end of that game. It's that Central Michigan, I think, actually put on a really good showing for themselves over on Mirage. They only made the comeback happen. And the other thing to note about that is that MX3 had 3 or 4 clutches there in the first game. That was just not there. Game
Mhm.
2. Now, I don't want to say it was MX3's fault that there was a loss, but you think those clutches not going the way, I think that really shows why it was so much more one-sided
Mhm.
towards Ashland when you're not winning some of those clutches. Hayon had some fantastic A side holds over on Mirage as well. So, that was shut down, simply didn't happen. You recall somehow him getting a triple, or multiple times actually getting a triple there, from the back end of things, but it was just very, very impressive.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. It was just absolutely super incredible. We actually do not have an interview for you tonight, but we do have more Counter Strike this weekend. We're not ending things off this weekend with this matchup because we got October on the 30th and 31st. Those matches, the semifinals, are going to be played over on 4 p.m. EST. $25,000 is on the line. Brought to you by CSL Esports and Prize Picks. So make sure you tune into that tomorrow. Not same time, different time, but same place here. You can find it on this channel. We will be here tomorrow with Pib. You'll not be joining me, but it'll still be some great Counter-Strike this weekend. And we also have some more games as well besides October.
Absolutely, we do. We have a schedule that we follow every single week here at the NACE Starleague. If you're interested in esports, which I hope you are, please do tune in to our other awesome games that we have every single day. Monday is Overwatch and Rocket League, League of Legends there on Tuesday, and Call of Duty on Wednesday as well. So make sure to tune in at the same time, as well as this show starts 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. So make sure every single week to tune in for the awesome NACE Starleague stuff that is going on every single day. But with that being said, Cole, it is that time for us to say goodbye. It's week 8, and it feels like it's flying. I'm
Yeah.
absolutely excited as we head towards playoff time. And on top of that, though, thank you so much, everyone, for watching, and we'll see you here next week with more Counter Strike action. We'll see you then.